sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
If you look at what happened of week one, the SEC schedule, Alabama wasn't even definitive, which was odd to me. Alabama did not cover the spread against the Missouri Tigers. Now, Missouri did score on the final play of the game, but even Alabama didn't look as dominant as many thought they would. And really, the teams behind Alabama, since they're going to win the SEC West this year, there was no really definitive team that came out and made their mark on Saturday. And you could say, well, what about Mississippi State, Ty? They had a big-time win on the road against the defending national champion. And you really like what you saw from Mike Leach's squad if you are a Bulldog fan. But if you look at LSU, who lost at home to Mike Leach and the Pirate, you look at Auburn, who got by Kentucky but wasn't dominant in that football game and really got a call lucky late in the first half that helped them win. You look at some of the other teams in the SEC West. Ole Miss looked like it couldn't stop a junior varsity team with the way Florida dominated them offensively. You look at Arkansas, who had a lead over Georgia for 39 minutes but wasn't able to get it done. You look at Texas A&M, who barely beat Vanderbilt. That is how they survived. So to me, after watching week one, and I know it's just 1 week of college football from the SEC standpoint, but to me, second place in this conference is wide open. And I think it's really hard to make a argument against that based on what we've seen in week one. Now, maybe our decision, maybe our opinions of that will change in week number 2, but right now, on a Friday, leading up to week 2 of the SEC football season, with COVID and everything going on, I think the second place in this conference is wide open. I say second place in this division of the SEC West. This is
conference or division?
Yeah, division.
You said it both ways.
So,
division? Okay.
Division.
Yeah. I'd agree more with the division than conference. I'm still a believer in Georgia.
I would
Georgia and Florida.
And Florida. That's more the same. And that's why I corrected it real quick, because it's definitely division, not so much conference. This is the Morning Rush. He's Tommy Kraft. I'm Ty Richardson. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text in. We are always streaming live on hitthatline.com. You can find our video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you have a smart speaker, just say play ESPN Arkansas. We are also on the TuneIn app as well. If you don't get a chance to listen to our show or halftime or anything else in its entirety, make sure you are subscribed to the Hit That Line Podcast Network, where you can find Morning Rush Podcast, Halftime Pod, Fantasy Football Sunday, Ruskin and Zach, Primetime Preps, Hog Reaction. All those podcasts are up on there. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts, we have those there. We're going to be joined by Jake Wimberly, who does the afternoon drive in Jackson, Mississippi for 105.9 The Zone. Really excited to talk with him about this football game. And excited to talk with you this morning. Again, any call or text, we're taking them all throughout the morning. Your score prediction, your thoughts on the game, whatever you want to talk about today, it is 877-377-6963. We are going to learn a lot more about the SEC West in week number 2, though, Tommy.
Oh, yeah, and I think with the matchups, one thing that's interesting is how does LSU bounce back? They play Vanderbilt this week. Now, we all expect LSU to win, but is it enough for LSU just to win this game, Ty, or did they have to be dominant? And when I mean dominant, obviously Texas A&M had a lot of trouble with Vanderbilt last week. Wasn't that game 7-5 as well at the half? I mean, it was a weird baseball score.
Scoregamis.
Yeah, I mean, how'd you like to have a ticket on that in Vegas? 2 SEC games, 7-5 at intermission. But I think LSU's under the gun a little bit this week because they're the defending national champions. I know the hangover hasn't quite healed up from last season for the Tigers fans, but to me, this is a big game for Coach O. Not that he's going to be on the hot seat, but their fans are going to start getting restless if they struggle into the fourth quarter with Vanderbilt, who gave A&M a tussle last week. So that's an interesting game to me. because I don't think LSU's completely out of the top third of the division conversation. I don't think they're going to finish 1, but I do think they could finish 2 or 3. They struggle this week. We're probably knocking them down a peg for sure.
Yeah, no question about it. They need to come out and blow the doors off Vanderbilt. And
wouldn't want to be Vanderbilt.
I would not want to be Vanderbilt this week either. Ed Orgeron and Scott Linehan and Steve Ensminger and Bo Pelini need to make a statement this week.
If Georgia beats Auburn 2 touchdowns, Auburn's fans don't like it, but they can at least reconcile mentally with that.
I don't know, that fan base is insane.
Well, I know, but
they can't reconcile.
I understand, but if you're LSU, think about this though. If you're LSU and you lose to Mississippi State at home, and then you struggle the next week with Vanderbilt, there is no calculus in your head that can, even for a Cajun, that can figure that one out.
All right, yeah, that's even for a Cajun.
Even for a Cajun.
Even for a Cajun. So yeah, there's a lot of big games this weekend. And I know
if Bama lost to A&M, that's one thing. I mean, it's just a whole different deal. If you had back-to-back games where you lost or struggled, you lost to Mississippi State and then struggled to Vanderbilt, for a team like LSU, there's no understanding that.
He's about to get Chizik in 2 years. And by that, I mean win a national championship 2 years later, you're finding a job. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. Let's go to the land of the Goblins and welcome in Dave and Harrison. Who does Harrison play tonight?
Harrison plays Alma tonight.
Alma. Big game against the I almost said Dogs. What, Airedales. That's
close.
Close enough.
You need to be more specific than Dogs.
A little more specific.
In the last 3 years. No, they have not.
Say again. We didn't hear the first part. Hey, whoa, Dave. We didn't hear the first part of that. Say that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to my roommate. I wasn't even talking to you guys. My bad.
What's up?
Hey, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Now, I live in Harrison, Arkansas.
All right.
And I do root for the Razorbacks on occasion because I don't like LSU. Right. And I'm really not a big fan of Auburn.
Well, we got a lot of things in common. We got things in common so far. Yeah.
Because I grew up 28 miles from Kyle Field. I'm an Aggie.
Okay.
True blue.
Well, we're all from somewhere.
You know what? It doesn't matter how much we've won by. We still beat Vanderbilt. We are 1-0. What's Arkansas?
So Dave,
0-1.
Dave, you want to call into an Arkansas sports radio show and brag about beating Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I mean, what's your point here, Dave?
You know what? It doesn't matter who we beat. Who have you beat in the SEC in the last 3 years?
Ole Miss in 2017.
Yeah. And we're damn proud of it. 2017. It was a glorious night. Yeah. Yeah. Big
but
win.
you're going to sit in your dog Aggie. You're going to dog the Aggies because they barely beat Vanderbilt. They're still undefeated, and you know what's going to happen when they play Arkansas?
It's going to be about a 7-point game again.
Yeah.
It'll be like it is, like the last 7 years. It'll be a touchdown or less ball game.
And Texas A&M will win again. You gentlemen have a great morning.
You know
I just wanted to remind you that.
You know what, though, Dave? At the end of it,
the Aggies, brother.
You know what? At the end of it, though, we may be
coach now.
We may be 1-23, but we're not Aggies. You know.
You know what?
Nah, never mind. I don't trust what he might get ready to say.
I don't think he was going to get through to him. So there's one redeeming.
That was kind of going like Tuesday night went. That wasn't going to go well.
That was one redeeming quality about.
I just want to, but I had a button. They couldn't shut them guys up on Tuesday. I could shut that down. What I had to say at the end of the day, maybe 1-20. Not Aggies though, you know.
Could be worse.
Yeah, could be worse.
I hate everything about that school. I guess Dave wanted to call on an Arkansas Sports Talk radio show.
I don't need caffeine now. I'm good.
Talk about how his Texas A&M Aggies beat the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Dave, congratulations.
Yeah.
Argyle about to get spanked by 35 against Alabama this
now
weekend.
I hope until that point, Dave. I just hoped Alabama only won by 10. Now I hope they win by 110. So thank you for the motivation.
Congratulations on your win in the worst program in the SEC, Dave.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
We had two people over here cooking mess out in the back barn behind the house.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Why go north when you can get the best deal on a new GMC or Buick here locally at Harry Robinson Buick GMC? There is no reason to drive more than an hour to buy your next vehicle. Harry Robinson has the same big rebates and discounts promised at other dealers, and Harry always gives you more for your trade. So when it comes time for your next vehicle, don't go north. Come see why Harry Robinson is the fastest growing Buick GMC dealer in the region. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Ask Shelter agents Wade Gilkey or Jim Milam about a free insurance review.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crab.
Goodbye touchdown. Raleigh Williams with a 71-yard touchdown run on the opening series.
Subscribe to the Morning Rush podcast wherever podcasts are found.
Just took an interesting call from Dave in Harrison, who grew up 25 minutes from College Station.
Interesting's an interesting word, the way you describe that.
Trying to be nice to Dave this morning. He's all giddy and hyped up like a little schoolgirl that his Texas A&M Aggies were able to escape the clutches of the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Aggies being Aggies.
I guess. So we got a lot of text here that we're going to get to. Also, your calls 877-377-6963. I want to tell you about our friends at World of Wireless this morning.
877-305-DISH. Our good buddy Ben is standing by this morning for you. Even an Aggie knows that high cable prices, high satellite prices are a bad thing. So if you are tired of opening the envelope every month or opening that email, however you get your cable bill, and it's now $130, $140, $150 a month, make the move to Dish. If you got 3 TVs in the house, $74.99 a month is how much it will cost you, and that price is guaranteed for 2 years. Now, that includes HD in every room and whole home DVR. So call Ben now, and they'll get the process started. They'll even throw in the Google doorbell system absolutely free with World of Wireless, only when you have it installed with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Got a text in here from Tuck in Bentonville saying, Exhibit A is Dave and Harrison and why there are so many Aggies jokes. Yeah, that just wrote itself. Like, I don't know an Arkansas fan out there, and albeit said, you lost to Vanderbilt last time you played them, but I don't know an Arkansas fan out there that would call into Texags and Gabe Bach and Billy Lucci and say, hey, we were able to beat the Vanderbilt Commodores and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know an
It'd be like someone calling in and bragging about beating Arkansas right now. You just probably wouldn't do that if you're LSU or Auburn. Or I don't think Georgia's probably bragging a lot because they beat Arkansas last week.
Brent Spyro texted in, and he's the residential Oklahoma fan of the program. He said, man, I hope I don't come off that way. That dude was a trash fan. I enjoy Brett from Spyro's text, and I know that a lot of us do not like the Oklahoma Sooners, but Brett is funny, and he doesn't come off as outlandish like Dave and Harrison just did. As far as that goes. Couple calls, couple texts, 877-377-6963. Rod wants to know, what was Dave and Harrison talking about? Rod, you were on the Morning Rush, brother.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I tell you what, you just had a call from the worst sports fan in the world. We'll call him Dave. You know what I mean? The Sooners up on blocks anyway. But amazing to me that a program that spends as much on their coach every year as Vanderbilt spends in their entire sports program. I mean, we know who Vanderbilt is, and we know who Arkansas is. They just hadn't figured out who A&M is yet, because they're not exactly the best football team, even in the West.
Well, now hang on here a second, guys. Hang on, Ron. The conversation started. Ty asked the question, who was the second best? He didn't ask who was the best in the division. And that's generally, listen, that's music to the ears of an Aggie fan. Well, finishing second, because that's what they're used to for decades, is finishing second or third. So, I mean, maybe that's what attracted him to the conversation. Was we weren't talking championships or winning divisions or really winning anything. We were just talking about being second best. And that's what Aggies are known for.
Yeah, you're right. They shouldn't be talking about winning much of anything, I don't think, right now.
Right.
I know we're not.
Smallest
we just know
trophy
who
case
we
in
are.
the league. So, yeah.
My goodness. And they beat us 2 years with Chad Morris. That's not exactly something to brag about, I don't think. Everybody else did.
By a touchdown and, 5 points the last game? 2 years ago, Ty Story had a chance, threw that pick, and then last year Ben Hicks got stoned on a 4th and 4, whatever it was, and hit CJ in the back because he got decked as he let the ball go. But, oh, well. Rod, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's he going to react this year if Arkansas does beat him? And he's living in freaking Harrison, Arkansas, man. Those people take it seriously up there.
You bet you they do.
Rod, I would venture to say he will probably not call back into the program. And appreciate the call this morning. Got another text in here. This comes out of the 870. He says, tell Dave to get out of here with that Aggie stuff. They have the top-paid coach in the nation, an elite roster, and they can't do anything with it. The last 2 years, like you mentioned, Rod, we had Chad Morris, and they still kept it close.
No, I want Dave to call back. We need callers like Dave. So, Dave, if you're still listening, and we know you are, we want you to call back in. Not today. We don't let you call twice in the same show, but no, we welcome Dave's call because it adds good banter to the program. So, no, we don't want to run Dave off.
He's going to be the new version of Tiger Bait out of Aggie Land. So
we need something. We
Aggie
need that role.
Aggie
filled.
Dave.
Yeah, Aggie Dave.
Aggie Dave. That's what you will be forever known on this program by, Dave, in Harrison.
So no, call in. Let's.
Just not today.
Just not. Well, you've already called in today.
Yeah. Now you get one call per program.
Right. So call us Monday and tell us how, just tell us how Alabama treated you over the weekend.
Exactly.
That's as nice as I can put it.
Another phone call we want to take is going to the land of the Purple Dogs, welcoming in Kyle in Fayetteville. Kyle, you're on the Morning Rush, brother.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Well, I want to touch down on that on Dave from Harrison. I just got a question for you.
Yeah.
When's the last time A&M has ever been relevant in the West since they've entered the West?
You got to go back to Johnny Manziel, the 11-2 year. That would have been 2004.
Was that 2011 or
2012? 13, because that was when they beat the tar out of you in. Well, I say that. No, it's 2012 because they beat the tar out of Tyler Wilson and company in College Station.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's just something I just wanted to know.
and they beat Alabama.
That's the last time they've been relevant to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. They.
No, you're right.
That being said, I could care less about the Texas A&M. I'm excited for Arkansas and Coach Pittman and everything this year.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to rally around that coach, and they're going to beat somebody they're not supposed to beat this year.
Yeah.
Kyle, I 100% agree. And like Texas A&M, Arkansas at this point is low-hanging fruit. And Kyle, appreciate the call this morning, buddy.
How did I forget? Help me remind me. How did A&M do in the SEC championship game those 2 years?
I
can't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They play Georgia or Florida?
Think about this.
Who did they play? I can't remember.
My recall.
Let me get my media guide.
You know what, Tommy? I don't think they made it to the SEC championship either those years.
They didn't win the West?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I think that was the point of the whole conversation.
You know what's funny about Texas A&M is you're paying Jimbo Fisher $75 million over the course of 10 years. You've got that national championship plaque that he's just supposed to walk into, and they're just waiting on when they should inscribe it. But can you honestly tell me, Aggie Dave, that they are going to win a national championship in Jimbo Fisher? What has led you to believe, since Jimbo's arrived in College Station, that team is capable of winning a national championship? I keep hearing about Kellen Mond. Hey, I'm the best quarterback in the SEC. That's what he said at SEC Media Days last year. Well, that didn't come to fruition. They barely beat Vanderbilt last week. Texas A&M is a fraud. They've always been a fraud. Football, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. They talk a lot of smack, and they don't back it up. Talk blank, get hit. You know what word I'm going to there. More in the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
All right, you go do the research.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
It's hot tub season at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton's has everything you need with hot tubs starting at $28.95, including delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. Hot tubs are great for reducing stress, easing muscle pain, and helping you get a better night's sleep. Plus, find end-of-season deals on pool accessories, big green eggs, and outdoor living furniture at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Breeden RV's 2020 blowout sale was a huge success, and now they need more trailers. Due to the massive shortage in good, clean, pre-owned RVs, they will pay top dollar for your RV. So if you don't get to use your RV as much as you like, don't worry. Breeden RV's here to buy it, or they can even consign it for you. They also have the newest models from Thor, Forest River, Coachman, and many more arriving daily. They can take care of you on your service needs, and for the month of September, get 10% off all parts and accessories. The best camping weather is just around the corner, so stop by Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren and start living your best life today. See dealer for details.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that we are here for you. During this uncertain time, let us take the wheel and get your car repaired so you are ready to roll when the time comes. We offer pickup and delivery and will sanitize your vehicle during your complimentary detail that is done with all repairs. Don't want to get out at all? We have you covered. We offer a mobile estimating tool that allows you to take a few pictures and we will email or text your estimate directly to you. Check out our website or Facebook for more details.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Davis, first down, a bunch more. There's one of those types of scores as he'll take it the distance. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Gonna get into some quickie headlines coming up here on the Morning Rush. Also taking your calls and texts throughout the morning, 877-377-6963. Tommy.
Hey, is your home in Arkansas, is it 10 years old, at least 10 years old? And are you an OG&E customer? If it's yes to those questions, they have a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. They have trained crews that come out and will do an energy audit at your home at no cost to you. And if your home qualifies, they come back and install attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and a lot more to make your home safer and more energy efficient. These services are at no charge to qualifying homes. So if you or someone you know could benefit from the home weatherization program from OG&E, call 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Ryan in Van Buren texted in. He says, man, Aggie Dave just threw a rare steak into a pack of pit bulls. Yeah, I would say when you come on an Arkansas sports talk radio station and you discuss how great Texas A&M is after beating the worst team potentially in the SEC, I would probably say that's a correct comparison from Ryan and Van Buren.
It wasn't so much that he wanted to talk at all about A&M. He just, it's the typical, well, what has your program done? What's your record? Instead of, hey, he wanted to throw stones in a glass house. So,
and I thought we were pretty fair. A&M looked terrible in week 1 against Vanderbilt. They got the win. We didn't say they lost. Got the win. I don't think as far as that's concerned.
The score was 7-5 at the half.
Yeah. JB in Bentonville texts in. He says, is David really bragging about beating Vandy? Their QB looked like a junior varsity, junior high athlete, and they've been terrible for 2 years. But I think Arkansas is going to surprise some people this year, maybe 3 to 4 wins. And those sorry Aggies, they're going to be a part of those wins this year.
Now it makes you want to beat A&M even more.
Yeah, just adds to year. Listen, Aggie Dave did not help my distaste for that university and everything.
Call back anytime starting next week, Dave.
Want to welcome another caller to the program, Danny, who is in Russellville, good old Russ Vegas. Danny, you are on the Morning Rush, man.
Thank you, Tommy, for speaking for the entire state of Arkansas when you said at least we're not Aggies.
We got that going for us.
I mean,
our record may be terrible.
The state of Arkansas, everybody said amen.
Right. It may be 1-23 or whatever it is now.
Right.
1-24. I may not have updated that after the Georgia game, but irregardless, the point's the same. It doesn't matter what the record is. We don't wake up. We wake up as Razorbacks and not Aggies, and we're very thankful.
Thank the Lord. Georgia had an excellent defense, and we know Mississippi State's not going to be in that category. But then again, their offense that first game was pretty high-powered. So what are we going to expect? I've thought about it, and I do think we're going to figure out a way to run the football. We have to. If we don't, we're in deep trouble. And we got good running backs. And these coaches, we're going to find out. A lot of people struggled their first game because of the coronavirus. And by the way, prayers go out to our president and first lady. On the news, they have tested positive, but I still think that's going to play a big role in this year. I mean, nobody's tested more than the president, and these football teams, I know they're tested a lot too, but it could play a role.
It's going to.
I just want to know how many points do the Hogs have to score to get a W. What do you guys think?
I've said all week the first to 50 wins. I think it may be upper 40s, around 50 points for the winner this week.
Well, I hope that's not true because I don't know if we're capable of scoring that many points.
Well, I mean, okay, what was it, 44 points last week for Mississippi State and the win over LSU. Who do you think has the better defense, Arkansas or LSU?
And only 6 yards or 9 yards rushing.
What are you even thinking about over there?
All 623 yards passing.
Yeah,
and if they get Stingley back,
their best player's not there. I mean, I've talked. I could go through that entire roster you didn't have last year, and I hate that I'm even considering that Arkansas might have a better defense than LSU. But of the 2 games we saw, Arkansas stonewalled Georgia for about 39 minutes, and I will say this. People, for those who did not watch the LSU Mississippi State game, go back and watch because for 21, 22 minutes, Mississippi State only had a field goal. KJ Costello and company did not look that great. Now, they turned it on, especially in the second half. But LSU had a pick six in that game. KJ Costello fumbled the football early, and he had another interception. I mean, this offense, listen, KJ played out of his mind in the second half. But they also
our offense is going to have to help us out, guys.
Yeah.
You know, our field position was terrible in that game. We couldn't get out of our own end of the field, and you know you can only do that so many times without bad things happening. So this week, let's run the football. Let's see what these coaches, if they're really capable of improvement, which I think they are. I think we're going to see improvement this week, and let's get a W. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the call, Danny. I would say to his question about how many points does Arkansas have to score this week, I don't know if I'd go as high as
to win.
I don't know if I would go as high as 50, but I would probably say high 30s or 40. I don't know if you'd have to
score. So we're within
50.
touchdown of each other's opinion.
I think Arkansas's defense will show up a little more than LSU's did. And again, what does Barry Odom have that Bo Pelini didn't have? What does Barry Odom have that Bo Pelini didn't? That you've talked about several times this week.
Well, I'm guessing you're looking for Stingley, but that's not the answer.
Game film.
Oh, game film. Okay, game film.
So Barry Odom
talked
has
about that a lot. Yeah, there is more, evidence on Costello, who didn't play a year ago in this league, that you at least get this one game to break down, look at, mull over.
You're not having to patch Stanford games and Washington State games. You have one
game. Trying to
game.
figure out what they're going to do. You know what they're going to do.
And that doesn't mean that Leach didn't hold back anything that he might use against Arkansas, but you do have a full game of college football.
Wait. You don't think he was holding plays? Hey, I don't want to show this against LSU because I'm going to use it to beat Arkansas.
Coaches are weird, man.
You're right. Paranoia is the first requirement.
Yeah, that's just how it is. So that's just how it is. When
it does sound weird, though, coming off the tongue is, well, he wasn't showing those looks because he was saving them for Arkansas.
And you mentioned something that, like, you asked me the question. I was kind of like swishing this thought in my head a little bit about, like, this LSU and Arkansas. Do they have comparable defenses? Listen, and I feel like I have to go through this again when it comes to LSU's defense. Patrick Queen, Michael Divinity, Kristen Fulton, All-American Grant Delpit, that defensive line. I mean, they lost everyone from last year's team. Everyone. Derek Stanley Jr. was not playing that game. So, like, I know they've recruited well down there, but, I mean, I know it was one game, but Arkansas's defense looked better in one game than LSU's did. So, take that for what it's worth. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, it's one game, and there was a lot of conversation. If you read it, some of the analysis of how LSU defended Mississippi State at times and going man versus zone, and they just couldn't do it. Opened up some passing lanes. It will be interesting. That's one thing to watch in this game. We'll get into this with Clay when he joins us and talk about how the secondary and how Barry Odom makes the approach there in defending those wide receivers from Mississippi State. I don't know that Arkansas is going to get up on the line of scrimmage and try to press these guys and go man, but you're going to have to mix up the looks. So we'll get into that with Clay coming up. But that was one thing that people that break this stuff down felt that Bo Pelini really didn't handle well, was how to mix up zone and man coverage in last week's game.
He looked like he was stubborn, and he
wanted to play man because, by golly, we're LSU. We got the better athletes, and we're going to line up and play man on you, and it didn't work out. And some teams can do that. They just we're bigger, faster. Faster is the key word. We're faster than you, and we can cover you. We're going man because we got 3 or 4 guys that can do it. Well, it didn't work out last week.
Let's get into some quick headlines. We'll start with the XFL. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is bringing that sucker back. This is going to start in spring of 2022, according to The Rock. Why is this going to work / not going to work again?
It's going to work because we love football. We have an appetite for football year-round. I mean, quality football. That's why we watch, that's why the hardcores watch the Canadian League. That's why we love college football in this part of the country more than the NFL. We have an appetite for football 13 months a year. We talk about it 13 months a year on this show. So why will it work? Because we have an appetite for it and there's a demand for it.
And it was working when they came around the second time. I mean, it took the virus to shut down the league, and then all that happened. So,
but it's got to be a good product. It can't be too gimmicky. It's got to be like football.
But they introduced all those interesting changes, like with the kickoff rules and different things like that, and it made it different enough. I thought it was working, and it was an exciting. I mean, it was like, what was the AAFL? Was that the first one that was
AAF?
AAF, yeah. So
Phil's against both of you guys, and I'm somewhere in the middle of Phil and y'all, because Phil is under the impression that it's not going to work, because I remember we had several conversations about
we
that.
had talked about it in a couple of days, but I think it will. I mean,
it will ultimately fail because it's not the NFL. That's the biggest problem any of these leagues have is, well, you're not the NFL. The NFL has the best players, the best coaches, the best everything. That's the problem any of these secondary leagues have are, well, they're secondary. And as a consumer of the product, we have to accept that it is secondary. The problem is it's not really even secondary. It's third-dairy is not a word, but it's third.
It's just
because
there.
the NFL and college football are superior in our heads to whatever product this is. We're never going to choose that over college football or the NFL. That's why you play in the off-season of those times.
Couple tidbits from Sam Pittman's press conference yesterday. Dorian Gerald, you're still a wait and see on him. He didn't practice yesterday, and it's kind of just a wait and see till the weekend when it comes to his status. But another guy's status that has been cemented is Jarquez McClellan. For those who haven't heard, the cornerback for the University of Arkansas has decided to opt out of this season. Started 11 of 12 games last year. This is a loss for the Razorbacks.
Well, and this is his second quarantine I think he's been in. It's got to be just exhausting and frustrating to be going through the process right now. And I think this is just a casualty of COVID, not necessarily of McClellan's health, but he's had family members that have struggled with this. There's some family elements to this with the statement that I know we're going to get into that was out there yesterday. But I would imagine once you went through one and then now a second quarantine, hey, you're just exhausted with this. Mm-hmm. The protocols, the temperature checks, the whole thing. Is this really worth it? And he's opted out. Now, we got to remember, opted out doesn't mean you're opting off the team. It just means you're opting out of the season. Doesn't mean you're gone, right? Doesn't mean you're leaving the university. It's not transfer portal. Don't confuse any of this stuff out there.
When it comes to that, you mentioned him being quarantined twice since returning June 1st, and he also had this to say: after watching my mama fight for her life on the ventilator during last year during the birth of my little sister, it really hit home for me and my family being quarantined, and I wish the university the best during this football season. Now, he is now the third Razorback that has decided to opt out this season. Shamar Nass and Chibuizi Nwada are the other two guys. And this is a guy, again, started 11 to 12 games last year, is an important part of the secondary, and you need all the secondary pieces you can have when it comes to Saturday night's game against Mississippi State.
McClellan was, second on the depth chart behind Brown, Monteric Brown. So there's the guy that played a lot of snaps last week. You need the depth. Arkansas does not have any depth to give up really anywhere. And so that don't act, and we can't act like this isn't going to come with some consequences, because it will.
Secondary needs all the help they can get, especially going up against Mississippi State.
We'll get some thoughts from Clay and how this impacts the defense moving forward.
Yeah, no question about it. I want to remind everyone our Hit That Line podcast network is live, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Hit That Line podcast network. Bud Light Morning Rush Seltzer podcast, the Halftime Pod, Fantasy Football Sunday, Hog Reaction, Ruskin and Zach, and there's one I'm missing, Primetime Preps. All those are on Hit That Line or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, comment, rate. We really appreciate it. Our listens, we have had over 100,000 listens this past month. We've had over 27,000 listens these past 7 days. That's all a credit to you all listening. We really appreciate it, especially for those who don't get a chance to listen to the full show in its entirety. We really appreciate it.
What should our next podcast/video cast be about?
Wrestling.
Probably food. You're welcome to do a wrestling one, man.
Come on.
Jenkins, how can me and you do one? Because I'm not going to tell you wrestling. How could me and you do one about barbecue and wrestling together?
We can watch wrestling episodes and smoke barbecue.
Okay.
Because WrestleMania is long enough that we can smoke a
We'll
pork
get a
butt.
think tank going on this.
Yeah.
I'm interested in doing something else, but I want to do something else. That complements what we do. But yeah, like barbecue stuff or food stuff.
I think a lot of people.
I think if we did something on like tailgate recipes and we went through it and like condensed it down
Get
into
Emeril Lagasse on the
10-minute or less deals or something, did some video. I don't know. We need to work on this. Me and you are the guys to do a food podcast.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Ty has a
he could be our taste tester.
Yes. We got to involve Ty somehow.
I will happily accept that with the badge of honor as far as that goes. So I happily do that. If you all have a podcast idea, throw it at us anytime you want.
What do you want to hear out there? You know, because we got sports covered, so what else do we need to go do? I think we got the Razorbacks and the SEC and college sports pretty well nailed down. Now we got high school sports nailed down. You got fantasy football going. Is that nailed down?
It's not nailed down.
I didn't go nailed down there.
That's probably why.
So what next?
I will say Jerry Jeudy helped me out last night. Unfortunately, I couldn't help but saying this. I was watching the game at a local watering hole last night. He scored a touchdown. I accidentally let a Roll Tide out because I was so ecstatic, and that will never happen again. I apologize.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
Seriously, but I need all the help I can get when it comes to my fantasy football
Clay
team.
is up early. We've already talked to him this morning. Wait till he hears that.
Probably going to chastise me as soon as he hops in on the program. But
he should.
And but if you do have something when it comes to the podcast conversation, an idea, I think the food probably is the best idea, Tommy. Food is
JB in Bentonville says, what about previewing basketball season?
I think
that's sports. You know,
I would say
we'll do that in the other ones.
JB, I would say that it has to be outside the realm of sports. So I would say like food, pop culture, movies.
David in South Arkansas likes your tailgating recipes.
Yeah, we'll do something. Maybe we'll do some restaurant reviews or something. I don't know. We'll work on that.
Our taste of the town.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So
taste of the state or something. That'll give us an excuse to go places.
Yeah, that's
I've been to. Y'all ever heard of Oark, Arkansas?
Yeah,
the Oark General Store. That would be a good first one. I've never been to Oark. We could have the Oark burger at the general store.
I'm blank. What was the name of the restaurant in Jasper? The Ozark Cafe?
Yes, there's that one. There's a couple there, but the Ozark Cafe has that volcano burger.
Yes.
So we could just drive around and just run our cholesterol up to 1,000. Yeah.
Good.
I'm for it.
Good. So I'm 100% down for that. All right, so I was doing a little research on Kendall Briles' offense over the years. Do you know last week was the lowest his offense has ever scored in a football game? Ever? Since 2015 when he took
How
over
long is ever?
In the offense.
Long time.
2015 offensive coordinator Baylor, 2 years there, then Florida Atlantic, then Houston, then Florida State. First time he's ever only scored 10 points in a football game. His second lowest total is he had one tie against Miami this past year when he was at Florida State. So one tie. That's it. That's the lowest he's ever had as far as Florida State is concerned when it comes to that. So outside of last week and against Miami last year when they only scored 10, his offense's second lowest total has been 14. So it's rare that you see Kendall Briles' offense struggle like it did last week.
Well, why did it struggle? Why did the offense sputter? Well, Georgia's defense is a good answer, but field position, and that's special teams, and then it's the offense helping themselves out by getting a few first downs consistently and working on field position. Georgia had a great punter, too. That didn't help matters, but field position was why you struggled. You were starting so far away from the goal line you were trying to get to. You know, in the first half, you had an average of 86 yards to go. That doesn't work very well against a great defense.
I would agree. I would say
field position. They got to be better there this week.
Yeah,
that is a multifaceted answer to how you solve that.
I asked Sam Pittman yesterday about Kendall being really locked in this week. Here's what he had to say about Kendall Briles.
No more than what he was before. I mean, he's a good football coach and has been that way ever since I hired him. And at some point, players got to go out there and function as well. Again, I think we played one of the best defenses in the country. So hopefully our performance on offense will get better, and I believe it will.
And I have been on the mountaintop screaming that, hey, take a chill pill. It was against Georgia. It was your first game, new OC, new DC, best team in the country scoring-wise last year. But if the offense struggles against Mississippi State this week, then you can start having this conversation again. I don't think that you necessarily have the conversation following the Week 1 loss to Georgia. It's a different story, though, if you go into Starkville and you struggle offensively, and Felipe in particular, if he doesn't hold up in that football game.
Yeah, I mean, we're still trying to calibrate how much of last week's performance was due to Georgia's incredible defense. And Arkansas's ineptitude on special teams played a role into this. But there's still no getting around, Ty, the fact that you had 16 drives and 12 of them were 4 and out or less. There's 11 of them that were pure 3 and outs. Then you had the one with the safety on the double reverse. So we're going to throw that one in there. So you can't win very many football games against an elite SEC team with only 4 productive drives in the ball game. That's the problem. You get anywhere from 13 to 16 is kind of a high number, and you go back and look at a lot of drive charts. It's on the higher end at least. You normally have somewhere between 12 and 15 drives in a game. You had 16 in this one, and you just didn't do enough with the opportunities you had. That's the bottom line. That's one of the first pages I always look at when we print the stats out is how'd you do on those drives, and break that down, because 12 of 16 going 3 and out essentially is not going to cut it.
You have to sustain drives in this league. You have to sustain drives if you're going to run an up-tempo offense, because you don't want to just gas the Arkansas defense and Barry Odom's squad. They have to be given opportunity. They have to be given time to rest, and they really weren't able to in the second half of that football game. And I expect, like many of you, that the Kendall Briles offense picks it up against Mississippi State tomorrow night. I don't envision the offense playing like it did against Georgia. I think they're going to be able to get a push on Mississippi State. Now, you got to be careful, because Mississippi State, they got to Miles Brennan 7 different times on Saturday. So they're going to have to protect Felipe Franks, a bunch of different guys. I think like 7 or 8 guys got a sack or something in that game for Mississippi State. So you got to be careful when it comes to the Bulldogs defense.
Can you cover well enough to do that? I mean, they looked as though the secondary was so much better, but that's part of the sack number is you've got to cover long enough that Costello's not going to throw it because he didn't get anybody open. Can you keep their guys from being open to where the sacks can develop and can mount up?
Yeah.
Part of it is your secondary's got to do their job.
Yeah, and that too definitely. But I'm talking about protecting like Felipe, like making.
Oh,
sure
okay, I thought you were talking about 7. Well, hang on, which side were you talking about? Because both teams had some sacks in the game. You said Miles Brennan, they sacked Miles Brennan 7 times.
Yes,
Maybe I was going the wrong way.
Yes, LSU had 5 sacks on KJ Costello, and then Mississippi State had 7 sacks on Miles Brennan. So they just need to be careful when it comes to pass pro protecting and just making sure. But no, your point is.
I was talking maybe I only heard half of what you're saying there, but I was just talking about if Arkansas is going to get to Costello 4 or 5 times in the game. Let's forget the number 7. You're also going to need help from the secondary covering those receivers where Costello, I can't throw it there, and the next thing you know,
coverage sack.
It's a cover. Yeah, exactly.
Your point is 100% valid, and LSU was able to do that a little bit. They have to be able to get pressure rushing 4 if you're the Arkansas Razorbacks.
All right, Clay Henry coming up on the program. If you're driving around the state looking for a place to listen to the Morning Rush, ESPN 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, ESPN 104.3. You'll find us in the Harrison, Mountain Home, Branson, North Central Arkansas area. 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, ESPN 96.3 in Hot Springs in Southwest Arkansas, and 97.1 in the Camden area. So listen in to the Morning Rush anywhere around the state.
It's what we do for y'all, and
always online at hitthatline.com.
Hitthatline.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the TuneIn app. We have 10 different platforms for you guys to listen to our program. So basically, there is no excuse to listen to the Morning Rush. We're taking your calls all morning. Clay joins us next. It's 877-377-6963. It's Arkansas have a shot against the Bulldogs tomorrow night.
At Toyota, today's the day to score a great deal. That means the month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
You need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A whole lot of sunshine today. Our high this afternoon will be right around the mid to upper 60s. Partly cloudy sky tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 40s. A chance of a few isolated showers and storms as we head through Saturday across the north. Our high will be right around the low 70s, and then showers and storms increasing Saturday night. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
How big of a loss was Jarquez McClellion for the Arkansas Razorbacks as he's opted out? What's the offense going to look like tomorrow night against the Mississippi State Bulldogs? Can you stop Mike Leach's offense? All questions that will be answered in hour number 2 of the Morning Rush as we welcome in Clay Henry shortly. Before we do that, I want to tell you about Wheels RV.
Yeah, our good friends at Wheels RV have a great giveaway, and today is the day they're actually doing it. So this morning you want to get on Facebook and find their Facebook page. There's a post on there where they are giving away a Matthews VXR 28 bow. This is a nice bow. It's bow hunting season. Just started last weekend. We're a weekend. If you want a new Matthews bow, you can win one with Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. Go find the post on their Facebook page. Like and follow the Wheels RV Facebook page. Tag 3 friends in the comments and share the post, and you are entered to win. Hey, it's a $1,200 or $1,100 bow, plus you get a $200 gift card to Gelco Outdoors, and you get a Gelco camo neck gaiter. You get a free bow tune-up and setup with professional archer Chris Hacker. So this is probably let's say 11, 13. It's probably close to a $1,500 bow package. So if you want to have a better bow or get out this year in the woods from and hunt this season, it's going to be very busy out there. Wheels RV giving you a great chance. Again, win the Matthews bow package. Just go to Facebook and find out and search out Wheels RV. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale.
Clay, you know the Arkansas roster is good as anyone. How big of a loss is Jarquez McClellion?
Well, you're talking about a guy that has experience. He did not win a starting job this fall. One of the reasons is that he's been out 2 different quarantine periods, 14 days each. You just wipe out his fall with 2 different quarantine. I don't think he ever tested for COVID, but if you're around somebody that does, then you're out, and it happened twice. And I think when you get that far behind, it's hard to get on the field. I think eventually he would have gotten on the field, and he is depth, and he is a player that has, been out there and been through the battles of the SEC. So, yeah, you don't want to lose a guy like that. Again, he was not a starter. Eventually, you're probably going to need every one of those guys in the secondary, all the safeties, all the corners. So it's another little chink, another little, little spot that, that's a guy you don't have.
And Clay, when it comes to just the secondary overall, based on what you saw last week, based on what you saw also, because I know you watched some of the Mississippi State and LSU game, but I watched a good chunk of it last night. What are your overall thoughts on the Arkansas secondary being able to contain Mike Leach's offense? And by the way, you've talked about several times about Mike Leach's small little note card. I was fascinated by that offense being able to do that and him just having that condensed of a playbook.
Yeah, I think that they tackled better. I thought that was improved. I thought there were some aspects of the coverage at safety that was better. I think they did a fair job in the first half against Pickens, who's an elite receiver. That's a really talented group of wide receivers Georgia has. I mean, they're as good as anybody in the league at that position. You have to kind of factor in the second half. There was no pass rush, and that compounds things. But I thought their coverage was good in the first half. not as good in the second half when their pass rush disappeared because of losing Coates and Dorian Gerald, plus getting tired.
So what do you think will be different? I know we can talk about the differences Arkansas needs to shore up for this week, but what different looks, what do you think that will be different with Mississippi State's offense? Because I don't think they're going to look exactly like they looked against LSU.
Well, I think that if you go back to Mike Leach, they look remarkably the same every week. They look remarkably the same every year. If you go back to what they were running at Texas Tech and what they're running now, you could take any of those game films, and it's the same. It's the same stuff. They run go route, go route, go route, go route, and then they break it off across the field. That's against zone. Against man-to-man, they're going to run crossing routes.
Yeah.
And if they recognize what you're in, that's what they're going to do. And you can factor that. I think what teams have been successful doing against them is dropping 8, rushing 3, and defending, and trying to put as many people in the field, and hopefully at some point one of those 3 guys breaks free and gets a little pressure. But it is definitely a team that if you rush 4, 5, 6, he's going to hit where you left, and that's where the big plays came. And that's what happened with LSU. Every time they brought pressure, he burned them. So but it's interesting in that they only run 3 or 4 plays. That's it.
Yeah.
If you read the stuff that went online yesterday that I wrote, I interviewed Bo Mattingly, who went to Pullman for a week. Hung out up there, also spent a day with Bob Stoops that went over some things about Mike Leach when he was coordinator at Oklahoma that are highly interesting and explain a lot about why he is the way he is and how he coaches. And it's remarkable that he does so little different, but he does it so well. And that's the secret. And that's really the way just about everybody is. And I always marveled at the people that were frustrated with Chad Morris last year when he said, we only have 20% of our offense in. But what you really want to do as a good coach is that you run very few plays, but you run them really, really well. I think if you go and you look at what made Mike Malham successful at Cabot, he ran 2 plays. He ran the same plays, but he ran them to the right and ran them to the left. And the execution was so good, you knew what they were doing, but they did it better than anything that you'd seen in practice, and they did it on a consistent basis without errors. Technique, just doing it over and over. And they run go routes until the cows come home, and they catch the go route. They catch it in the air as good as anybody in college football because that's what they do in practice.
So defensively, how do you disrupt that?
Well, you cover better, and you catch it, tackle, make them go. Don't give them anything easy. You just cannot let them get over the top. And if they're going to, if they're going to execute at a high level, you're in trouble. But it's sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and their performances are not consistent. If you look, they've had against good coverage teams that dropped. They've been stymied. It's not like they've rolled through everybody, but you have to play against them a little bit to understand it. And in the Pac-12, they played them enough times. They started to kind of figure out this is how they do it. And this is what it's going to be a new deal for people in the SEC. And they're going to have to get a feel for how they operate and understand that they're not like everybody else, that you don't need to play blitz and send extra guys because they're going to burn you for big plays.
Clay, go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
It's the eye candy thing. You want to pressure the quarterback and come after him. I go back to when Arkansas was playing a pass-happy team at Texas A&M with Kevin Murray a long time ago. When you finally decided, okay, we're going to play 8 or 9 in pass defense and only rush 2 or 3 all at once, it really frustrates them. And that may not be the way you want as a fan to play, to look out there and say they're not rushing very many guys. But it's the way to slow them down.
Clay, you bring that up. I remember Washington and Chris Peterson were able to, like you say, stymie Washington State. That's what they did. Rush 3, dropped 8. More of the Morning Rush coming up. Stay with us. We got a big show today.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is former Razorback, wide receiver, and All-American track and field athlete Richard Smith, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Born in Arkansas, designed in the Swiss Alps, and field-tested all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Whether you are hunting early or late-season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, or stalking elk in the west, our layering system has you covered. We're a direct-to-consumer company, so shop our website at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Follow us on social at Canis Athlete for updates and new product launches. Be the wolf.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Breeden RV's 2020 blowout sale was a huge success, and now they need more trailers. Due to the massive shortage in good, clean, pre-owned RVs, they will pay top dollar for your RV. So if you don't get to use your RV as much as you like, don't worry. Breeden RV's here to buy it, or they can even consign it for you. They also have the newest models from Thor, Forest River, Coachman, and many more arriving daily. They can take care of you on your service needs, and for the month of September, get 10% off all parts and accessories. The best camping weather is just around the corner, so stop by Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren and start living your best life today. See dealer for details.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Why go north when you can get the best deal on a new GMC or Buick here locally at Harry Robinson Buick GMC? There is no reason to drive more than an hour to buy your next vehicle. Harry Robinson has the same big rebates and discounts promised at other dealers, and Harry always gives you more for your trade. So when it comes time for your next vehicle, don't go north. Come see why Harry Robinson is the fastest growing Buick GMC dealer in the region. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Mathis retreats, gets the ball, and the Hawks dump it back outside the 40-yard line. They're going to spot it back at the 42. They lose 17 yards. Dorian Gerald.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Gonna get into your SEC update coming up. Also want to talk about the SEC West being what I believe is wide open this year. Doesn't look like there's a definitive second place team. Now, I think Alabama, as far as that division goes, is the clear favorite. But what about the second base team? Now, we've only gotten to see one game. I know a lot of the games will impact this weekend, particularly Auburn, Georgia, Texas A&M, Alabama, and we'll see if that changes our opinion come Monday on that conversation. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Baxter Regional Medical Center.
Yeah, if you live in north central Arkansas, right there in Clay's backyard, you're very familiar with Baxter Regional Medical Center. Their family is ready to take care of you and your family again and do it safely. Safe surgeries, safe procedures, safely seeing patients across all service lines. Baxter Regional has taken every necessary precaution, and they continue to do it every day to keep you and your family safe. So when you arrive, their services might look a little different. The way they interact with you might look a little bit different. But just know that their commitment to high-quality, compassionate care has never failed, and it remains the same. So welcome back to Baxter Regional. Learn more about what they're doing to take care of you and your family and all the extra precautions at baxterregional.org. BaxterRegional.org for Baxter Regional Medical Center.
Before we talk SEC ball, I want to welcome in a guy that I know is excited for Saturday night, and that is Mr. Eddie in Clarksville. Eddie, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, gentlemen. That's exactly right. Still a Hawk fan today as I woke up. You know what? I was thinking about, I said it once, just briefly, if you allow me, gentlemen. I said it once, Tupac Shakur said this poem, The Rose That Grew from the Concrete. And what it symbolized, how it relates to this football program, the rose stands for man and the perseverance born in an environment in the ghetto to have dreams and aspirations to achieve something great. And how it relates to this football program, I'm asking Coach Pittman, I'm asking Coach Odom, I'm asking Coach Prowse, and I'm asking every member on this football program, before you get off that bus at Starkville, Mississippi, or you know to bust through that concrete tomorrow night at 6:30, because at 6:30 that bell is going to be ringing. And I'm asking this question because, you know, fans have come to me, you know, as a fan, sometimes you feel hopeless. I'd be a Hawk fan if they didn't win a game, but, you know, you ever heard the saying, same old song, different day. And for this football program, either fair or unfair, all the games in the SEC are tough. There's no easy. There's no gimme. And even though you played one of the best defenses in the country last Saturday, you still, we're going on 3 years without an SEC win. We haven't won an SEC game on our home field since 2016. And that song's getting old. So, come Saturday night, I'm asking this football program, every member on this team, will this be the week we bust through that concrete? We'll see come Saturday night. Thank you for taking my call.
Good stuff from Eddie, as always, getting you excited for the Arkansas game on Saturday night when it comes to this conversation. I know that many of you, even following the Georgia loss, are really excited about the potential of an upset win on the road in Starkville. You're 18-point underdogs in this football game. And 18, I think, is attainable. I don't know if they're going to win. Clay, I know you asked me my score prediction last Sunday, and we'll get into that more coming up here on the Morning Rush, but I know the phrase of the last couple weeks on the show from 3 to 7 is gettable.
Yeah.
This game is gettable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to Eddie, and who did he quote right at the start?
Well, one of your favorites. I mean, I've been to your house. There's
was
George
this-
Strait, and then there's Tupac. I mean, that's
I
about all
thought
you
he
listen
said
to.
Tupac. I thought that's
right.
what.
I mean, one of your favorites. How did you miss that?
He is right at the top of my playlist.
Exactly. I mean, I've
And
been over to
I
your
mean,
house, and it alternates between George, Garth, and Tupac.
Do you think that when Eddie's rolling down I-40, he's listening to Tupac? It just conjures up an image. I mean, and he's got the lights on, the neon lights below the running boards, and he's got Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I did not. Do you think that you'll introduce him with Tupac in any shows coming up? Like play a little Tupac just to
Some
get him
walk-up
going?
music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I think it fits.
That one was, I mean, Ty, you just rolled on to the questions. It's like, wait a minute. We got to back up.
Yeah.
Eddie's quoting Tupac.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't just dream that up. I mean, just like, wait a minute. I couldn't think of anything else he was saying after that. Just kind of.
You blacked out after he said
Oh,
Tupac.
yeah. It's like, I mean, it's just like, it'd be like me saying, hey, let's play a little Herb Albert, the Tijuana Brass, right? And Ty was like, who? Who?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So
Now, back to your question. Say it again,
No,
Ty.
it's
I am so sorry.
this is
I just went blank.
This
Yeah.
is a better conversation. So on the note, do you, between you two, as
Mm-hmm.
two, let's call a spade, two older white gentlemen, do you have a favorite rapper?
Clay is older. I'm something else.
Middle age.
Okay.
Is that better?
Do I have a favorite
would Nelly,
rapper?
Because
would Nelly qualify?
Nelly qualifies, and Bob, on the subject of Nelly, he is not. He's either related to KK Robinson or there's a connection there that KK know each other. So don't be surprised if Nelly, who is a St. Louis native, makes his way to Bud Walton Arena for a game this year.
Yeah.
So he says Nelly.
Nelly would probably be it.
Okay.
And it's
sad you pegged as an Eminem.
Bo,
guy,
there was a stretch there where Sawyer was making me do music. When I say do music, like he would play music and I would read the lyrics. I didn't sing them. But one of my requests was to do some Vanilla Ice. And I guess he's one of the original rap artists, right?
He would be one of the guys on the front of it, for sure. It's like him, NWA, obviously, Tupac. Is it Shakur? Am I saying that right? I am.
You're the one that led us down this lane here.
I'm just listening. My 90s rap knowledge is not up to par.
What about Big Boy?
Can't say I know who that is.
What about the Notorious B.I.G.?
That's another one.
Yeah.
I mean,
so is that yours?
Kendrick Lamar?
No, none of them are. I'd say Nelly.
Come on.
Okay,
Nelly and Vanilla Ice would be the two.
Nelly
that
and Vanilla Ice
I
for
could
Clay.
listen to.
Who would be? You said the Notorious Big. Is that yours?
Yeah.
It's not big. It's B.I.G., man. Come on.
Okay.
B.I.G.
Come on.
Is that your
Dr. Dre?
Okay.
I mean, come
I don't
on.
know any
Let's
of
get
that.
old school. Ice Cube, right? Yeah. Gotta get ice.
Jeff Long's is Snoop Dogg.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, we took a wild turn there.
And
All right.
Snoop Dogg
Thanks,
and
Eddie.
the pole dancers.
Thanks
yeah.
for the
I'm
diversion.
gonna reel this back
between the Aggie call in hour one and
somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas Smith texting Run DMC. That's his. So we'll get into our favorite
Yeah, I get
rappers
it.
coming
Yeah,
up here.
That's exactly what we
in
need to
hour
do the day before the
in
game.
hour number 4 of the Morning Rush. SEC update. We'll talk about what the odds that came out on the William Hill Sportsbook when the SEC team. South Carolina versus Florida. Right now, Florida is a 17.5-point favorite in this matchup. South Carolina lost a barn burner to the Tennessee Volunteers in Columbia on Saturday night. I know Will Muschamp was having. Did y'all hear Will Muschamp, what he had to go through this week? So some some person within their athletic department, and this was just a conversation between him and another person, and he's getting videoed, and there's several takes that you obviously do when you're getting videoed, getting people excited. And one of the outtakes, be clear, it was an outtake. He said, hey, this is Will Muschamp. Get the blank out of your seats. And that somehow, and he's trying to figure it out, made its way to social media. So he's having to deal with that crap during the week. He's having to deal with the loss during the week. You have all these different reporters asking him questions, which, listen, to me, I wasn't offended by that. I know some people listening to the program are offended by profanity and cussing. It takes a lot for me to be offended by something like that. And I get you don't want your kids, younger generation, to hear that stuff. That's fine or whatever. But it was never supposed to make the airwaves. It was never supposed to make social media, and it did. So Muschamp's not happy about this week. But now he's got to deal with Kyle Trask and the Florida Gators, who just swamped Ole Miss this past weekend.
Yeah, so I can tell you how something like that happens. It happens because someone about your age is in charge of the edit and the release. And
why does it have to be my age?
I get you. Who do you think
That's
is
ageism.
doing? Exactly. Who do you think are doing these videos?
Yeah, it's ageism. Yeah, it's a new one.
Yeah, ageism for 20-something-year-olds. Yeah, please get out of here. Now, who do you think are doing these projects? Guys like me and Clay?
Probably the smart millennials that know how to work technology.
And will work for $11 an hour. So
I would venture to say their video coordinator probably makes more than $11 an hour. But no, idiot, whoever released that, very
but
dumb.
They don't. The filtering process is not very good.
Yeah,
so.
I would say that's probably not the smartest thing to release your head football coach saying something profane. You're probably going to get removed from that position if they ever find out who did it.
Clay, you ought to see the outtakes. I don't let him air around here. I mean, it's unbelievable.
You're going to be in. That guy's in quarantine right now. I promise you.
He doesn't have COVID. They're going to give it to him.
No, he hasn't been exposed, but he's in quarantine
for the next 6 months. Another game this weekend.
Longer than that.
Missouri taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is favored by 11.5 in this football game. The over/under is 48.5. Tennessee with a big win this weekend in Jeremy Pruitt's first game in the 2020 college football season. Drink's going to have to. He just takes on Alabama. Now he's got to take on another tough SEC opponent when they take on the Vols.
Well, Tennessee struggled with South Carolina. They had to have some good fortune at the end with the kick play there to win that game. But Tennessee, to me, didn't look like a top 15 or so program. But they got a chance to. They got the win. That's all that really matters. They got a chance this week to go 2-0.
I tell you what Tennessee's got, and it's been quietly building under Jeremy Pruitt. Nobody's talked about it. They have a first-rate offensive line. They got a guy eligible that the SEC finally gave the thumbs up. He's Georgia transfer Cade Mays. His brother plays at Tennessee. Tennessee might have the best offensive line in the SEC, and that is a critical aspect of a rebuild, and it's what Arkansas desperately needs and will have eventually under Sam Pittman. But if you watch them play, they have the ability to move the ball in short yardage on the ground, and that's a weapon that just, it doesn't go away. I mean, it will pound on you and lean on you, and so I give Pruitt a lot of credit, and there was a lot of jokes made of Pruitt early on because his sound bites were so bad. But he's done a lot of things right at Tennessee, and I think they're going to have a good season.
And they lost to Georgia State at home, where a lot of Vols fans were like,
correct.
What is going on? And you mentioned the sound bites. I know, Clay, you mentioned Saul a little earlier. I know Saul was having so much fun with those sound bites back in the day because Jeremy Pruitt was just a sound bite machine. He just made consistently fun of Jeremy Pruitt. And listen, you can still do that.
Back in the day, 2 years ago.
But he can coach. He can coach.
No, he can't
coach. And he can recruit. So I think that Tennessee will, if not this year, next year, with that offensive line is going to be and unfortunately I know a couple of their fans, and I hear way too much about it. So I may know more about Tennessee's chances this year than maybe you guys do, just because of you. If you're around a Tennessee fan, it's almost a curse.
And that kind of blends into our next conversation, talking about just the SEC football, SEC West overall. 2 big-time games in the SEC West this weekend where Texas A&M travels to Tuscaloosa and takes on the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then Georgia will host the Auburn Tigers and the Fighting Gus Malzahns. Clay, after week 1, I made a point, and listen, it's early on. My points are subject to change, but looking at what Mississippi State did to LSU, looking how bad Texas A&M looked against Vanderbilt, looking at what just obviously LSU lost. I know Alabama didn't play exactly up to their standards, but they still look like the best team in the SEC. You look at Ole Miss not having a defense, but they have offense. I think this is going to be a division where the second place is really up for grabs. Now, Auburn coming off the win against Kentucky, big-time game, the Deep South's oldest rivalry this weekend. Georgia didn't exactly wow you with their offense. Depending on what Auburn does this weekend, I think the SEC West is just going to be wide open again as second place this year. Would you say with COVID and everything going on that that's a fair statement?
See, I think Auburn is, to me, they've been the team that I thought was second best all along, and I have been really impressed by Kentucky over the last few years. The toughness that they play with, I don't think they're an easy out at all. And I was actually impressed by the way Auburn played last week. This is a big game for both Auburn and Georgia, and it sets the stage for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. I think that those two teams will be factors in, they could meet again in Atlanta. I mean, I really believe that. I think Georgia's better than Florida, and I think that defense is going to travel well. I think Georgia is going to get better and better at quarterback. They weren't really sure what they wanted to do starting out, but it's pretty clear they want to throw it in that Monken offense, and they have the receivers to do that. You got to remember that everybody is just getting started, and we didn't have spring practice, and nobody scrimmaged a lot. It is hard to imagine playing all these SEC games with nobody getting 2 tune-ups to figure out if they got the right players out there or not.
Tommy, let me tell you something about Georgia. They get Auburn this week, Tennessee next week, and then they get Bama the week after. I know that this was consistently said from Dave Neal and old Georgia quarterback DJ Shockley on the broadcast that, man, you get past Arkansas, and then you better wake up because your schedule is unbelievable these next
and everybody's been aiming towards that rare regular season matchup between Georgia and Alabama that happens, right before the midseason bye weeks begin to happen. But yeah, they got to get their act in gear and figure out the quarterback spot and get the offense rolling. And this is a major step up with Auburn. Then as we went through, Tennessee is on the right trend. Probably the program on the steepest incline as far as trend compared to anybody else in the league right now. I'm not saying they're the best program. I'm just saying they may be the most improved program over the last couple of years.
And, Clay, on the subject of Georgia, JT Daniels is now eligible to play this week. I'm assuming, based on what we saw from DeJuan Mathis and Stetson Bennett, that he's either going to start or get considerable amount of playing time. But I also wonder, just throwing him in after he's been and I know quarterbacks are non-contact throughout, but I'm wondering what kind of production you'll see from Georgia offensively, Clay, against Kevin Steele, who we know is one of the best DCs in college football.
Yeah, you have to say that he would be comparable to Costello. I mean, he was going to be USC's quarterback and had a great freshman year. And I think that you'll see him do some things in that Monken offense that you like. Georgia is going to get better, and what we know is their special teams are terrific. So they'll be a factor all the way to the end of the season, and they could still be in the playoffs. And I'm talking about the national playoffs. And I cannot emphasize more that defensive front that you saw in their safeties are going to make it really tough for anybody to run the ball. And you go back to the stat I gave you, they got 8 starters back from a defense that was the first team since 1970 to allow only 2 touchdowns rushing in a season. That's unheard of.
And on that point, Clay, not a running back touchdown. So to your point, not a running back touchdown, which is important. So
So we got a few minutes left here before we get out of here this segment. Let's circle back to the Arkansas-Mississippi State game, Clay. What has to go right, in your opinion? What has to happen for Arkansas to win this game on the road and pick up that first SEC win in a while?
Well, the first time I sat down with Sam Pittman when he became assistant coach at Arkansas, it was under Brett Bielema, and we talked about the A-gap, and that's between the center and the guard, and that's the meanest, nastiest place in football, and that you have to control that area of the field or everything else goes bad. And I asked him about that, and he says it means everything in football. It's the start of every play, where the center and, the guard. If the quarterback is uncomfortable with what's coming through the A-gap, or the running back cannot make a yard there on 3rd and 1, you can't run a quarterback sneak, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so I think Arkansas was just completely swamped. Did not win no dents is what he said. We couldn't dent them in that area of the field. And I think that's, and I analyzed what Mississippi State has, and they're not nearly as good as Georgia. They've got, their 2 inside tackles and their linebacker were all 3 4-stars. So they're still good players, but they're not on the same level as what Georgia had. That's an area to watch. Can Arkansas make some dents up there with Brady Latham at left guard, Ricky Stromberg at center, and Bo Limmer at right guard? Those 3 have to grow as this season goes along and hold the pass rush for, and not turn anybody loose so Franks can stand in the pocket. I didn't see that happen in the first game, that there were any real breakdowns, any problems, but I also didn't see anchor points set up and where you think, okay, I can run there. So I think being able to run a little bit inside with Boyd really changes the complexity of what Kendall Briles can do offensively. And I know everybody's like, let's throw it. They've got to run the ball better than what they did against Georgia.
And I'll go back in the past decade, the 2 wins you had on the road against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. 2010, Nile Davis has a fantastic day. 2016, Raleigh Williams has an incredible day. Like the thing with beating Mississippi State is being able, and not just Mississippi State, but is being able to establish the run. That's just period. You lost in 2012. You lost in 2014 to the number 1 ranked team with Dak Prescott. You finally won in 2016, and if I remember correctly, 2018 you got smacked. So there wasn't really competition.
I think that's right, Ty.
Yeah,
yep.
You can beat these guys. It's just but like you said, Clay, you got to establish the run.
You've got to take some pressure off the defense. You've got to run the clock some. You cannot be snapping it from your 5-yard line, your 7-yard line, your 9-yard line, and punting. Yeah. It's just a recipe for disaster. It's incredible that they got to halftime ahead with that kind of field position. The first quarter, they had 6 possessions, and it averaged from their 9. For the game, their total possessions averaged from their 18. Georgia averaged for the game from their own 41. It ought to have been 70-0.
Yeah,
I mean, it's incredible that they stayed with them as long as they did.
If it wasn't for the first half penalties by Georgia, it would have been a comfortable Georgia lead at the break.
And that's what the first thing Pittman said is, like, we got to give credit to our defense because they kept us in the ball game.
Yeah. Either one of you guys a fan of German food? Y'all like Oktoberfest? That one of your favorites?
Yeah. Love
it.
Yeah.
Is like the Oktoberfest
bratwurst and
beers and all that. Well,
beer food.
Lingerschnagen.
Gaston's White River Resort is getting in the Oktoberfest mood.
Yeah.
With dinner specials this weekend. And Clay, this one will catch your attention. Their first special is a home-brined, slow-roasted applewood bone-in pork loin that is roasted with sauerkraut and served as a double-cut smoked chop with sauerkraut and potatoes. So that one right there. I don't even need to read the rest of the menu. That's where I'm going. They got a lot of Oktoberfest German food favorites right now here this month. So Chef Rick does a great job. They got a Wiener Schnitzel a la Holstein, which is medallions of veal dredged in fresh crumbs, sautéed with a sunny side egg up on top. Check out their full Oktoberfest menu for this weekend and more, Gastons.com. You will love it. Gaston's White River Resort. Make a reservation, too. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, this is Bobby Carpenter with ESPN Radio, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's hot tub season at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton's has everything you need with hot tubs starting at $28.95, including delivery, cover, and startup chemical. Hot tubs are great for reducing stress, easing muscle pain, and helping you get a better night's sleep. Plus, find end-of-season deals on pool accessories, big green eggs, and outdoor living furniture at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety.
Month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron and a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006. Will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
You always get more at
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craft.
Crawling for the first down. Football's out of the hands, though, of the receiver. Arkansas picks it up. Brown's got it on the far side of the field, and Arkansas has come up with a football.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Last segment here of hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. We're going to get into our Fence Man Friday picks momentarily. Sean, what's going on, man? How's your week going?
It's going great. This weather? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, my guys are just excited. Nice and cool in the mornings and a little warm in the afternoon. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I cannot wait. This weekend, it's going to be perfect for an outside fire. I got an outside fire play. I cannot wait to get the fireplace rolling this weekend. It's just now we're into perfect fall weather for camping, and a lot of guys at deer camp this weekend. It's just awesome.
The high is 75 tomorrow night here in where we are at. So I know that a lot, and that's going to probably be a lot of the state. So it'll be a nice, crisp fall night that we get to experience watching the Razorback game, listening to the Razorback game, and really excited about that.
We'll be gathered around Clay. We're going to be watching the game. We'll be drinking some beers. Ty will probably be drinking a pumpkin-spiced White Claw of some sort. It's going to be an awesome time.
Only they had
What? I'm sure they have a pumpkin-spiced White Claw, don't they?
Probably have whatever.
Yeah.
So I will have to do a halftime reaction show and a post-game show. So we'll see how many actual alcoholic beverages I have to see if that's highly entertaining.
You have to do a halftime show?
Well, I'm going to do it for the content, and we're all about content here at ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. So let's go and get into our Fence Man Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, so we all got a point for picking Florida over Ole Miss. Sean, you got a point for picking Auburn to beat Kentucky, so props on that. Clay, you got a point for picking Mississippi State to not. I think you said cover. I don't think you said beat LSU, but regardless, you got it. Sean and Clay got a point for picking Arkansas to cover. Ty and Tommy got a point for picking Georgia to win. So I'm not going to give us a point for that.
I don't think we get a point for that.
We don't get a point for that as far as that goes. But so right now, Sean, you have what, 4 points? No, 3 points. Clay, you have 3 points. Tommy and I are both tied with 2 points as far as that goes. So that is the score right now.
Started over with the official start of football season last week.
So and we'll continue to have these Fence Fan Friday picks every Friday.
Sean kicked our butt.
He did again. He kicked us the last time around. It looks like he's starting out hot again. So
what are our games this week?
Yeah, Sean, we will let you go first, man, since you finished week number 1
Leader
in victory.
in the clubhouse here.
Texas A&M traveling to Tuscaloosa, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tigers. The Crimson Tide are favored by 17.5 in this one. You going Crimson Tide 17.5 at least, or Texas A&M?
Okay. You guys know I'm married to an Aggie, right? So I have to go Texas A&M, and I'm going to take the points, and I think they'll cover the spread.
Okay. Clay?
I'll take Alabama.
Alabama. Tommy?
Alabama.
don't know if I want to leave you out on an island. I'm going to go Alabama as well. I just don't trust Kellen Mond. I'm just never bought into Kellen Mond hype. So I'm sorry for your wife.
It's all about, we bleed red, she bleeds maroon. Trust me.
I've got some neighbors that are Aggie fans.
Do you guys have that license plate that says the house divided? It's got Texas A&M and Arkansas on one side.
No, but on the side of our house, I have the concrete hog and the sign, and she has the Texas A&M iron, Texas A&M, and her little thing. So it sits right there. You can see it split the house.
I'm big fan of that. I appreciate when a husband and wife and they have the separate football teams growing up and they can still deal with each other regardless. All right, moving on to Auburn and Georgia. The Bulldogs, Sean, favored by 6.5 in this one. Clay, I will let you do the honors and go first. You taking Georgia in the 6.5, or do you think Auburn is able to take those points as the underdog?
You're going to give me Georgia in the points? Is that what you just said?
If
said I have to give the points.
You got to give 6.5.
I'll take Georgia in the points. Thanks.
Yeah. Give the points.
I'll take Georgia. Okay. No, well, that's not what you said, but I'll still take Georgia. Yep.
Where are you going?
Georgia wins this game straight up. I'll take Auburn, though, in the 6.5. I think it's a close game. Georgia's still got work to do offensively.
Where are you going, Sean?
I'm going Georgia.
I'm going to go Auburn actually wins this game.
Okay.
I think the Georgia defense, as good as they looked on Saturday, that offense did not look good. Maybe JT Daniels comes in and provides a massive spark, but I got a weird feeling that Auburn's going to find a way to win this football game. An odd feeling. And Chad is going to be lifted up by his offensive line, taken to midfield, and then yelled at the following week.
You think that's it?
I think that's it.
All right.
We'll see what happens. It's just a guess. All right, next game. I'll go first on this one. The TCU Horned Frogs are going down to Texas. Texas is 12-point favorites in this football game.
Didn't look good last week.
Yeah, they did not. They barely survived Texas Tech. I think Tom Herman and company, Sam Ehlinger, will respond in week number 2 for the Big 12. Actually, it's not week 2. It's week 3. I'm taking the Texas Longhorns to win this week by at least 12.
Boy, it's always hard to pick Texas. But this game being at home, I'll go Texas and lay the points.
Sean?
I can't go for Texas because Texas A&M have a huge rivalry, so I got to go TCU all the way.
All right. I'm going to take a wild guess and go where you're going to go here.
Yeah, I would pick the Russians over Texas.
Yeah. The Taliban.
TCU
over Texas.
Yeah. TCU. All right. Yep. Final game, the game that we will all talk about continuously on this program. And if you want to call or text in, give your opinion, it's 877-377-6963. The Arkansas Razorbacks, your Arkansas Razorbacks, traveling to take on the Pirate Mike Leach and his Mississippi State Bulldogs. We'll have coverage for you here on ESPN Arkansas starting at 1:30 with Arkansas Game Day. 17-point favorites. That is what Mississippi State is. That's the line we got right now. Sean, where are you going with this one?
Like I said last week, I'm going to take the Hogs and take the points. It's this weekend's so exciting that my wife is actually wanting to invest in one of those outdoor TV screen things so we can watch both games.
There you go.
That's the way to do it. I picked when Clay texted me on Sunday morning, I picked Arkansas to lose 45-31. I'm going to stick with that choice. So I do think the Arkansas Razorbacks cover, but I unfortunately think they're going to lose this football game.
Give me the Hogs and the points.
Yeah, I think they cover, and I think they've got a chance to win. I felt like that all along, and I think that Mississippi State has celebrated the entire week, and it'll be tough for them to come back. I think they're just dancing on the pirate ship the whole week. They did the video with the bandwagon. It's just like that's not how you want to conduct yourself. It's you should act like you expected to win, and I think Arkansas will do well in this game, and I think it's going to be a good moment for Sam Pittman.
All right, those are our picks on our Fence Man Friday football picks brought to you by the Fence Man. Call now if you need a quote for a new fence. You got a fencing project in mind. Sean, now is the time to call. You can get to them here very quickly with a quote. A few weeks out from getting their fence started.
That's correct. You betcha.
You still looking for help?
Always looking for help.
All right. So if you're out there, you got some skills, whether it's welding, carpentry, or you're a hard worker. Call the Fence
or you
Man.
Want to learn. Yeah,
you want to learn how to do some of these things.
Yeah.
782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. wherever you are listening this morning for the Fitz Man. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. I'm going to.
Coming up, Jake Wimberly is going to join us, Mississippi radio host. We'll talk to him about the Bulldogs and the Razorbacks Saturday night, 6:30. Stay with us. Hour number 3 coming up.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling, silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Braden RV's 2020 blowout sale was a huge success, and now they need more trailers. Due to the massive shortage in good, clean, pre-owned RVs, they will pay top dollar for your RV. So if you don't get to use your RV as much as you like, don't worry. Braden RV's here to buy it, or they can even consign it for you. They also have the newest models from Thor, Forest River, Coachman, and many more arriving daily. They can take care of you on your service needs, and for the month of September, get 10% off all parts and accessories. The best camping weather is just around the corner, so stop by Braden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren and start living your best life today. See dealer for details.
Carol Morgan came to Arvest Bank needing to get a loan. Let's hear what happens.
So Carol, good news. You're approved for this loan and at this interest rate.
Yay, that's great.
You also mentioned you have some credit card debt. Would you be interested in rolling that into this loan so you're paying off that credit card at this same rate?
Really?
Yep, then it's all just one payment instead of two.
Wow, that's
helpful?
Very helpful.
Personal loans made easy. Arvest Bank, ready to help.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
The new Michelin silicone plates last through everything.
On a world record-breaking drive from Alaska to South America in unpredictable conditions.
Thunderstorms, ice storms, they just don't quit.
Rainier Zeitlo chose Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades with advanced Quad-Tech 4-layer coated silicone that repels water, snow, and ice and lasts 2 times longer than other blades.
It's coming down in sheets.
Real world proven. Extreme weather wiping performance. Upgrade to Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades today. Only at Walmart.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar.
full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. Zero alcohol. Zero compromise.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
A lot of sunshine today. Our high this afternoon will be right around the mid to upper 60s. Partly cloudy sky tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the mid to upper 40s. A chance of a few isolated showers and storms as we head through Saturday across the north. Our high will be right around the low 70s, and then showers and storms increasing Saturday night. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, it's Derek Ruskin. Make sure to tune in to Ruskin and Zach every weekday afternoon from 3 to 7 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is the Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd! The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. Want to go to the phone lines in just a second. Welcome in Jake Wimberly. We're going to talk some college football, particularly Arkansas and Mississippi State, Tommy.
Yeah, we're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tub season has arrived, and Burton Pools and Spas has the top brands and the best prices you're going to find on a new spa to make your backyard an oasis, a place you can go and relax, get a better night's sleep by spending some time in your hot tub before bedtime to make those muscle pains go away easier, reduce stress. There's so many benefits to having a hot tub. They start at $28.95 at Burton Pools and Spas, and their great prices include delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. So turn that backyard into an oasis with Burton Pools and Spas and a hot springs hot tub starting at $28.95. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
Jake hosts the afternoon drive from 3 to 6 on ESPN Radio 105.9 in Jackson, Mississippi. For us, man.
Guys, good morning. Happy Friday. How's it going?
Man, it's going. We've got a big game on Saturday night when the Razorbacks travel to Starkville to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And I remember watching the game just a slight bit on Saturday and not necessarily being surprised, but just kind of wondering what this Mississippi State football team is this year. I know you probably got a number of calls this week. How excited are the team and the fan base in Starkville, Mississippi?
Well, I think, you start with the fan base. I think they're extremely excited. It's been a number of years that we've seen for Mississippi State to have any kind of success throwing the football. You can go all the way back to Dak Prescott in 2015, 2014, 2015, and that's kind of the last time, Mississippi State was ever able to throw the football. And you've got to really go back that far to kind of start this story because, while Dan Mullen is a really good football coach, he's got a really good football team down in Florida right now. Dan Mullen really kind of checked out mentally, I think, on Mississippi State recruiting the last year or two and really dropped the ball on bringing in quality wide receivers. And then you fast forward through Joe Moorhead, and he didn't do the Bulldogs any favors either. So, we were talking with some people in the program last week before this game, and I said, look, guys, how many wide receivers is Mike Leach going to rotate? Because, Gardner Minshew, who's with the Jacksonville Jaguars, played for Mike Leach. He's from here. I had the opportunity to call all of his high school football games, know him personally and his family pretty well. And Gardner used to tell me, he said when he was at Washington State, he said, man, we rotate 11 to 14 wide receivers.
Wow.
And they all can play. And so last week, I was told Mississippi State was going to rotate 7 to 8. I mean, so that tells you kind of the depth differential and where Mike Leach is now and where he wants to be. But to be able to see him take those wide receivers that were there, and then of course get a transfer from Alabama and Shavers and some other guys, some JUCO guys, and really turn that thing into the machine with KJ Costello that they did last week, extremely impressive. The fan base extremely excited. And, of course, it's a long season, but, boy, Mike Leach couldn't have had a better opener than he did last weekend.
Jake, I'll tell you what else was impressive is the Mississippi State defense getting to Miles Brennan 7 times in that football game. I think it was 2017 when Alex Greenwich was still the defensive coordinator at Washington State, who's now the DC at Oklahoma, where they had a really salty defense. And I know Leach isn't necessarily known for that unit, but my goodness, they look pretty good getting to Miles Brennan on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a real big question mark. And, of course, it's still going to be a question mark moving forward. Zach Arnett coming in from San Diego State. And, he coached under Rocky Long. What does that mean? What does that look like? Because, as we all know, Mike Leach defenses typically are defenses that's going to bend. Sometimes they're going to break. You're going to have to, win games in the 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s out on the West Coast. But to see them, as you said, get after Miles Brennan and get 7 sacks and be able to, take a bunch of young guys and look much better than I thought they would, especially on the back end. Now, they gave up some plays. But, a really good job defensively. Gave up some points, probably, too many points. There were more points than you would want on a given weekend. But LSU's still got a lot of talent. That's a very talented football team. They're going to be fine.
KJ Costello's 623 passing yards have drawn a lot of attention for the new SEC record. The last time Mississippi State and Arkansas played, State set school records with 640 yards in an SEC game, got 460 on the ground. What are you expecting? I don't think many expect Costello to go for 623 again, but what is going to be a reasonable number in the minds of most State fans and the media there for productivity this week for this Mississippi State offense?
Well, you're absolutely right, and I've had some people joke and say, "Hey, maybe this is the floor." And I said, "No, that's nowhere near the floor." I mean, that's an unbelievable performance last week. I think you've got to dial that thing way back and say, anything over 300 yards, 300 to 400 yards is probably reasonable for an offense that's going to throw the ball 50, 60 times. I mean, Mississippi State, even though they have Kylan Hill, they didn't run the ball a whole lot last week. And Mike Leach is pretty defiant. I mean, he doesn't believe in balance. He says he thinks that is way overrated. And, of course, you can go all the way back to several years ago against Utah. I don't think they ran the ball one time and still beat Utah. So, as much as they're going to throw the ball, I think you got to look around the 300, 400 range on average. Would like to see them, though, get Kylan Hill more involved in the run game. And I think you'll see that. I mean, they're going to have to do this at some point. I mean, teams are going to scheme better. They're going to play better defensively. And look, KJ Costello, I mean, he's human. So he's going to have some mistakes. He's going to have bad games. And he's going to have subpar games. But I think that, if you look around with a 300 to 400-yard mark, I think that's probably where you need to kind of put that yard marker.
Now, you bring up Kylan Hill. That was my next question. 158 receiving yards last week, the highest total for a Bulldog running back in the history of Mississippi State's program. But he's known for running the football. So how does Mike Leach in this offense involve him? Is it short, extended handoff screen passes? How do you involve Kylan Hill moving forward with this offense under Mike Leach?
Yeah, I think just what you said and you alluded to, you got to try to get him involved in space. Excuse me, and you got to get him involved with the handoffs, the delays, and then you got to take some chances. If you can get him like they showed last week, one-on-one in space out of the backfield, he is an absolute matchup nightmare for most people just because of his size and his speed. And I'm not even sure Kylan Hill yet understands how much he probably helped his draft stock last week, showing that he can catch the ball out of the backfield. But you're going to have to get him involved more in the run game. And, there's going to have to be some isolations that they do. I know Mike Leach, sometimes he'll bring a tight end in. And Mississippi State's got two pretty nice tight ends. I mean, they're very SEC average, but they can come in and play as that up back position. But so you got to get him more involved. And they got some depth behind him as well. Going to have to run the ball in this league at some point.
Jake Wimberly with us, 105.9 The Zone in Jackson, Mississippi. Jake, let's move on to Ole Miss, the other Mississippi school that you're consistently talking about. Just kind of the thoughts from the fans this past week as the offense looked pretty decent, but Kyle Trask and company just ran and passed all over Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah, I mean, excited about the offense. I think Lane Kiffin, again, is going to be able to take – I mean, Lane does, and you guys know this, he does as good a job as anybody in the country taking the talent that he has and finding a way to move the football, and he's going to do that at Ole Miss. Defensively, we were just talking about it yesterday with Neil McCready from Rebel Grove up there, and it's a twofold deal. One, they got to get used to the scheme that they're running, but two, there's a talent deficiency there. I mean, they've got to get bigger along the defensive front. They've got to get faster on the back end. I don't know what you're going to see and how much better this defense can get. Now, they're not going to play teams like Florida every weekend, but the SEC, as we know, is loaded. Florida could be, by all accounts, the best team in the league. We don't know that yet. But they've got to get bigger. They've got to get stronger. That's going to happen through the recruiting process. But by all accounts, Ole Miss fans are excited. I mean, they actually had something to kind of hang their hat on, some excitement last week with what Matt Corral was able to do. I think Elijah Moore is one of the more underrated receivers in the league. He caught double-digit balls again. Jaron Ely from right here in the Jackson metro area, he is a star in the making. And, the big question is, what do they do with John Rice Plumlee, and what does that look like? Because, it's pretty evident Ole Miss doesn't want a run-first quarterback as their quarterback. They want somebody that can throw the ball, and Matt Corral offers that opportunity for them to do that.
Jake, after week 1 during the SEC, I've made the case that the second place in the division of the SEC West looks to be as open as it's ever been. Looking at Ole Miss, looking at Mississippi State, LSU, Texas A&M, what do you think about just – and Auburn as well, obviously. What do you think about who is probably going to contend and be the second-best team in the SEC West this year?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's wide open. I mean, coming into the year, I had Texas A&M. I felt like this would be, if there ever was a year, it was this year. And then, Jimbo and the crew down there started losing some guys that opted out due to COVID, some wide receivers, some guys that just decided to move on with the program. And they looked, and it's one game, so you got to kind of look at it in that context. But Texas A&M did not look the part against Vanderbilt last week. It's a big point spread against Alabama this week. Auburn, Auburn's always got athletes, and Gus Malzahn he's Jekyll and Hyde. Everybody knows that. I mean, he's never had a losing season at Auburn, but he's been up and down. He'll beat Nick Saban and then turn around and lose to Central Florida, and that's no disrespect to Central Florida. So, what does Bo Nix look like? I still feel Bo Nix, and I always have, that they've given him, the media has given him way too much credit. That there's a semblance of being overrated there. You look at LSU, I think they're definitely a step or two behind. And then you look at State, Ole Miss, and Arkansas. And I don't think really, honestly, when you look at recruiting and you look at, the way those programs are run, there's not a whole lot of difference between the three programs. And I think all three programs, even though Arkansas is, as you guys know, I mean, they're in a major rebuild. They looked much improved last week against Georgia to me. Felipe Franks can not turn the football over. I think they've got a chance to beat some people. So I do. I think it's wide open, and if you had to pin me in it, make me make a decision, probably Auburn right now, just because of the stability of that program, and that's the staff outside of Chad Morris coming in. I have to probably go Auburn, and if we're going to knee jerk this thing, throw Mississippi State in there if KJ Costello can continue to play at a high level.
All right, let's circle back to the Arkansas-Mississippi State game. Davis-Wade Stadium's going to be at 25% capacity. That's just over 15,000 fans that will be allowed in. What do you expect the atmosphere to be like? We know it's always a loud place with the cowbells. It's not the biggest venue. What is going to be the home field edge for the Bulldogs tomorrow night?
I don't know that you can necessarily call it an edge. I mean, the Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, has put in a mandate, did this several weeks ago, no tailgating, no gathering. So, it's not like when you pull up, you're going to have, the junction out there that they've Mississippi State's done a really good job turning that into a very nice tailgating venue, similar to the Grove at Oxford and some other places. But that's not going to be active. 15,000 people. I think you'll have a nice chat, chime in the background. But to me, home field advantage is kind of irrelevant at this point. I think we saw that last week down in Baton Rouge. I don't know that game, how much different it would have been, but I think a full Tiger Stadium would have made a little bit of a difference for LSU. And for Arkansas, it's an advantage coming in that you're not going to have, 50,000 people with tons of cowbells ringing. So I think the home field advantage, you can kind of probably throw that out the window. And for Mississippi State, you got to avoid a hangover. Are you still living off last weekend? Because if you're living off last weekend, they called Arkansas's attention to be able to throw the ball, and I can guarantee you Arkansas is going to come in it's best prepared as they can to try to stop this, air raid attack from Mike Leach.
I don't know how much you cover recruiting, but I'm going to ask anyway. How has Mike Leach gotten off to a start in his first year recruiting-wise with the extended dead period? We've seen Sam Pittman and his staff have some success. How would you describe the recruiting effort that Leach's staff has had so far with all the rules and the restrictions and doing everything virtually? How has it went for Mississippi State recruiting so far this year?
We do. We live and die through recruiting down here. We love it. And when you look at this year, Mike Leach has done a nice job. They already had a lot of contacts out of the state of Texas when they were at Washington State. And one of the things that I've said that is an advantage for Mike Leach is the offensive staff that he brought. He brought his entire offensive staff. So when you talk about guys like Steve Spurrier Jr. and guys that have been with him for the long haul, recruiters, guys that understand what they want out of kids for their systems. They kind of got a head start, and they've got a couple quarterbacks committed from the state of Texas. They've got some wide receivers from the state of Texas, some guys in the state of Mississippi they've picked up as well. It's kind of been a wonky year in the state of Mississippi recruiting-wise because not just in the state of Mississippi, everywhere. You can't go visit kids. You can't have kids on campus. So what we've seen is a lot of the top athletes with coaching changes in the state of Mississippi. You're talking about the state of Mississippi has gone through now. They will go through four, what I call the Big Four in Mississippi: Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, and even Jackson State will have all changed coaches by Christmas. So you're seeing other schools come in and dip in and grab some talent out of the state of Mississippi. But back to your question on Leach, he's done a really good job of grabbing some guys, out of the state of Texas, out of the state of Louisiana. They feel like they've probably met most of their needs at this point. Probably a little shaky on the evaluation. But, quarterback is a big thing. Receiver's a big thing for Mike Leach, obviously, and some offensive linemen. He's got some nice offensive linemen, or what look to be committed to the program. And then probably his biggest recruiting coup was Will Rogers, who's the backup quarterback. He's the second-string quarterback on the team, again, from right here in the central Mississippi area, convincing him and to stay on after the coaching change. And I don't think he had a whole lot of convincing to do. He had offered Will at Washington State. So to answer your question, I think he's done a pretty nice job of keeping the guys intact that, were kind of on the board, so to speak, and then trying to find some other ones in a very difficult situation that we're all in right now.
Jake, before we let you go, just your thoughts on a score prediction Saturday night against Mississippi State.
Wow, that point total. Now, we do a ton of sports gaming down here, and so we look at a lot of that stuff. That point total is at 69. That's extremely high. A lot of people are going to jump the over on that thing and probably push it to 70. I think that game is played well under 69, though. I would have to say, give Mississippi State just a little bit of the edge just because of the quarterback position. Looks like, Costello's a little bit more polished than Felipe Franks. So, I'm going to say Mississippi State wins this game somewhere around, 34-24. We'll go 10-point ball game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at 45-31 Bulldogs right now. Jake Wimberly, host of the Afternoon Drive in Jackson, Mississippi on ESPN Radio 105.9. Jake, appreciate your time this morning, man. Enjoying the game on Saturday night, and we'll catch up, I guess, next year when they play again.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good stuff from Jake on the conversation. Yes, gambling is probably a big deal considering all the casinos down there in Mississippi. I've been to a couple down there traveling through when it comes to that conversation.
Biloxi, Tunica. You got a few. Philadelphia, I think, is another play. Yeah, they got a few stops to collect your dollars along the way in Mississippi. All right, we'll get Clay's reaction to that conversation coming up. We're brought to you by Ouachita Farms, a state-licensed cannabis farm processor and seed labeler located in Hot Springs Village, but their products are in stores across the state. In fact, over 200 stores in Arkansas carry the products from Ouachita Farms. Do your research on CBD. If you haven't used it, if you got anxiety, stress, trouble sleeping, joint pains, there are so many positive benefits. And I bet if you ask your friends, people right in your circle that, hey, do you use some CBD products? Yeah, it helps me sleep better at night. It's helped with my stress levels. There are so many benefits from it. It's an all-natural product, 100% USA-grown hemp. It's an operation run by a family right here in Arkansas, the Owens brothers, David and Jeff and Mark and Mitchell. They do a great job. You can stop in their store at 3958 Highway 7 North in Hot Springs Village and see what they have to offer. And again, their products are in 200 locations around Arkansas, so a lot of people trust them. Go to WashitaFarms.com to see what I'm talking about. That's WashitaFarms.com. And, hey, use the code WPS15 at checkout. You'll get a great discount as well. That's WPS15 when checking out at WashitaFarms.com.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Jarquez McClellion, cornerback for the University of Arkansas, as of yesterday, has opted out of the 2020 college football season. This is a loss for the secondary that was missing some guys because of COVID, and he has decided he's got a connection with his mother, and just for family reasons has decided to opt out. So for those who have not heard about that, that happened yesterday. And Clay, you talked about it earlier. He did not earn his starting position, second-team guy, but definitely a pivotal part of that defense. So it'll be interesting to see how that back end adjusts, especially tomorrow night against the passing attack of Mississippi State.
Yeah, there really wasn't a way for him to earn his starting spot. He was in quarantines 2 different times over the last 6 to 8 weeks, and just hadn't been on the practice field. And I think he was frustrated, and there was no. He could be in quarantine again. He didn't have COVID. He just was exposed, and because of contact tracing, they have to continue to be in quarantine. And I think he had enough of that. And his mother was, spent time in the last year on oxygen at the hospital, and just a lot of issues that just told him it was time to stop for a little bit. And it's a depth deal. He's a good player. He's a guy that started, I can't remember if it was 11 or 12 games over the last couple of years. And, I think he would have competed for a starting job. I'm not sure he would have started, but he just didn't have a chance to get on the field because of all the quarantine that he spent because of contact tracing. And it's a frustrating time. And the players, we don't understand how it is to the pressure of staying in a bubble, what happens, the dynamics within a team. And I think that it's not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to happen some more. And it goes back to your last segment when you guys were talking about point spreads and betting and spending money and wagering. I don't know how you can right now. They're testing 3 times a week. There's not any consistent way to know who's going to be on the field and who's not.
How do you place a wager before game time?
Yeah, and we're not going to know until we get to the game, and we start counting. There were rumors that defensive backs were out last week, and a couple of the names that were mentioned, those guys played. But it was other guys. So it's a rolling window of players, being exposed and then being in quarantine. Some come on, some go off, as far as being able to play.
You get Mateo Soli back this week. Sam Pittman mentioned yesterday that Ty Clary will be back this week, and hopefully those guys will be big additions for Mississippi State. Coming up, I want to continue to talk Arkansas Bulldogs.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Hey, this is Colt Kubelik with you.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
A little girl asked me one time, "Pastor, does the devil have a mother?" I was shocked by her deep question and thought for a second, yes, he does. Her name is pride. The devil fell because of a rebel yell of pride. The Bible says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride really is the mother of all sins and will take you on a dark ride. There's nothing more devilish than being rebellious. I'm Pastor Heath. Check us out at woodlandpeople.church.
For the month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale.
At Frank Rowe Furniture, we are family owned and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made in the USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frank Rowe Furniture, your Made in the USA headquarters. Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Oh, hey. Do you know what goes great with your favorite tunes? Cold beer from Sody's Wine and Spirits. Did you know that at Sody's you can choose from over 600 single bottles of craft beer in their Pick 6 section to make your own six-pack? And for the freshest beer, be sure to pick up a growler. Order online at mysodys.com and pick up in the drive-thru. Or download the new Sody's app and save 10% on your first order. For the full Sody's experience, go to I-540 in Phoenix and Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And it's picked off. Tony Bua down the near sideline. Touchdown, Razorbacks.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
You think about some matchups for Arkansas, Mississippi State. There's a couple pivotal ones that we are going to talk about shortly coming up here on the Morning Rush. Text out of the 479 says, do you think using 5 down linemen defense would help disrupting Costello? No, the blueprint for beating Mike Leach's offense over the years, asked Chris Peterson. as some other teams that have been able to have success against them, is rush 3, drop 8. Now, that might be annoying. That might, for a defensive coordinator, not getting pressure and stuff. But if you look at the success that defense has had against Mike Leach and company over the years, it's been dropping guys. So we'll talk about that coming up shortly. Before we do that, I want to welcome in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Larry, good morning, man. Happy Friday.
Well, happy Friday to you guys, and welcome to October, or should I say Shocktober, at Rath Auto Resources. We're going to make it so easy, folks, to get into that nicer, newer car. You can get rid of that old car that's haunting your driveway, get you something nicer and newer. Even if you still owe money, we're giving extra for trades so we can make that happen for you. And, folks, people wait to get a nicer, newer car because they think they've got to solve all the problems themselves, and you really don't. Come in and talk to one of our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists. They're there for you. They'll help you figure it all out, put it together, make sure everything fits your price and payment budget. When everything falls into line, you leave happy in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Of course, everything backed up by that terrific service in the Meineke Car Care Center. Those guys have been taking care of more and more people every year because they know how to take care of cars, but more importantly, they know how to take care of folks. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for all your automotive needs, it's Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Don't forget the new Mitsubishi's available at the Springdale location. Great product, great specials this month, 0% for 72 months with approved credit. We're really excited about that. You even get some cash back, $750 cash back, plus 0% for 72 months. So, folks, some fun things going on. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, the Meineke Car Care Centers at both locations, or check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good weekend. Folks, come and see us.
Clay, is the Arkansas defensive line getting pressure with 3 and 4 guys? Would you say that's the most important matchup for the Razorbacks and the Bulldogs on Saturday?
To me, that's not it. It's about tackling in space, and I think Arkansas's safeties and linebackers tackling underneath and getting guys down and not, they're going to throw in front of the stakes. Mississippi State is. So what you've got to do is tackle those guys in front of the stakes, not let them get yards after catch. Mm-hmm. And Kyle Hill is number one. So I think to me, the matchup I wrote about is Grant Morgan, Bumper Pool. Can they tackle Kyle Hill in space? Arkansas couldn't tackle him last year. I think it was 230-something yards. And backup got 120-something. So, they rushed. So it was tackling to me as opposed to, getting pressure. You got to get some pressure, and you want to get him off the spot. That'll, affect his throwing percentage. But he's going to get it off. And so you got to get those guys down in front of the stakes and live for another down. And disrupt some passes, get some turnovers. And, I know that part of it is getting pressure. But if you can tackle them short of the stakes, I think that's how you get off the field.
So in the secondary, how do you defend them? LSU didn't have a lot of luck with man-to-man and pressing them. Do you back off the zone? Do you have to mix up your looks? What would your old buddy Lewis Campbell recommend?
Yeah, I think, and Lewis and I have talked about that many times. And the inexperienced, raw quarterbacks, you pressure. The really good ones, the experienced ones, the guys that can find guys, you want to defend. So, and then the second thing that he says is you do not do the same thing down after down. So you might have, everybody thinks you either play zone or you play man. Well, that's not really how college defenses operate. They play combinations. They might be playing zone underneath and man over the top, or they might be playing man underneath and zone over the top. So, play 3 deep or 2 deep. But you can't do the same thing on every snap because they will figure it out and they will attack that. So what you have to do is show them one thing and play another. And Barry Odom understands that, and I think their combination defenses have been really good through the years. The reason why he plays that 4-2-5, and it'll be a it'll be a 3-2-6 this week probably. They'll probably play two nickels.
Yeah.
And I think Greg Brooks, Devin Bush coming back is a big deal. Those guys have to play good underneath. And then, the guy that seems like he's the player out of this whole bunch is Jalen Catalon. And that'd be number one in the secondary. He's on our cover this week. If he stays healthy, I think Arkansas secondary will be better.
That's going to be a fun watch for the game within the game. Hey, there's some all-new things on the menu at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. We always tell you about catfish on Friday. They certainly have that. But if you want to kind of step it up maybe a little bit tonight, the smoked ribeye is back on the menu.
I saw Wade put that back on there.
Guys, y'all, I mean, who doesn't want a 14-ounce smoked ribeye? They put it on the smoker for hours, and then they grill it. So if you want it medium, you want it medium rare, you want it however you want it, they're going to grill it up to the taste and temperature you prefer. You get a couple of sides and a salad with that. It is an awesome meal. They've also introduced a couple of new sandwiches. They've got the smoked Philly cheesesteak, so they take some of that same smoked ribeye and turn it into Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. They also have their homemade mac and cheese pack. And then one, Ty, I think you would like, the all-new El Diablo. This is a spicy pork patty. It's on Texas toast, comes with grilled jalapenos, hot pepper jack cheese, some of their onion rings or fries with it. Looks like a delicious sandwich. Some new menu items available right now at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Coming up in the program, want to talk about our game predictions, really dive into what we think is going to happen tomorrow night when Mississippi State takes on Arkansas. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
A little girl asked me one time, Pastor, does the devil have a mother? I was shocked by her deep question and thought for a second, yes, he does. Her name is Pride. The devil fell because of a rebel yell of pride. The Bible says pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride really is the mother of all sins and will take you on a dark ride. There's nothing more devilish than being rebellious. I'm Pastor Heath. Check us out at woodlandpeople.church.
For the month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
West of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine.
And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya. Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers. Beer in Texas. St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Lewis down there, lost in the middle of this. See him? There he is. He's in there yelling and hollering to leave it alone. We need it. Season's not over yet. As Brewers passes away into the end zone, incomplete on the final score. Arkansas 42, Texas 11.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Gonna get into our game predictions and kind of how we think the outcome is going to go on Saturday. And I also want to pose a question to our listeners concerning just a question I have for everyone out there at 877-377-6963. Hey, everyone loves free lunch or free breakfast for your office, for your coworkers, and we got it for you at Hardee's at hitthatline.com.
Yeah, they say there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, that's not true. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch, register for free at hitthatline.com. You just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch button on the menu bar. Give us your information every Thursday. Mr. Jenkins is in charge of announcing the winner on halftime, so you can tune in to Phil and SmackDown, and they will get you the winner. Someone is going to win every week. We had a winner yesterday in Fayetteville. Who was the winner? Remember, I forget what brand. Tommy Edwards was the winner yesterday in Fayetteville.
Tommy.
So, hey, enter. We're going to have a new winner every Thursday on Hit That Line. You and up to 15 of your coworkers get free lunch from Hardee's. Again, that's hitthatline.com, the Hardee's Lunch Bunch button, brought to you by Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Before we get into our game predictions, again, I want to ask our listeners this question. I played pickup basketball yesterday, and then I played pickleball last night, and I was quite sore when I got home. So I want to ask the question, is it ever okay for a man to take a bath?
I know that you're new at this, but this is completely unacceptable bath decorum.
Oh, it's so hard to care when you're this relaxed.
Okay, fine, you can have the bath, but I am taking your boat. Now you're just a girl in a tub.
Hey!
Hi, Bubbles. Manly.
Is it ever okay for a man to take a bath? Ever?
Yeah, I think we
Absolutely.
It's relaxing.
Especially, I mean, when your wife's already in the bathtub, it's a great time for a man to take a bath.
Cannonball. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's therapeutic. It's relaxing. It makes you feel better. Who doesn't get out of a bath? And you need to do it while you're still at an age where because Clay can attest to this, once you get to Clay's age, getting into and out of the bathtub
can be difficult.
is a little more challenging, isn't it, Clay?
Scared,
it is.
Scared about a fall.
So at your age, enjoy it while you can.
Greg
I've fallen in, I can't get up.
Exactly. You may have to call the fire department to come get you out of there.
Greg in Fort Smith agrees with you, Clay. He says, exactly. Only with you do it with another woman, though. Like, initially, for those who got the reference I just played, that was Chandler from Friends. And he was asked the question. He was like, Monica's like, I thought you liked baths. He's like, no, I like being in the bath with you. I don't necessarily like baths. So I'm kind of curious what our listeners. I'm surprised. I thought y'all were going to lambast me and criticize me for. I didn't. I took a shower last night, but I'm curious.
There's times like you might need to soak your knees or your ankle. I'm just talking about there is some therapy, but just for general hygiene, no, you don't take a bath. You take a shower.
You do it to make your muscles feel better, not to clean your body. So we bought this house that we live in like 2008, and it has this huge master bathroom tub. It's 150 gallons. I mean, it's a huge tub. So we redid. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. This is going to be all. We're going to enjoy this so much. It's got the jets in it. This is the central feature of the master suite.
Y'all never
we put in a tankless hot water system and all this stuff to make this bathtub wonderful. We've lived there 13 years. We've used it twice.
We had the same thing. We lived in a house 7 years, and it had jacuzzi, hot tub.
Yeah.
And when we sold the house, they were like, does everything work? Yeah, everything works. Well, then, we had the guy come out and run through the house for the test. Like, hey, your jacuzzi tub doesn't work. Well, we didn't know. We never gotten into it.
Exactly.
It had to be fixed. Yeah.
Last question I have for you as we close down this conversation and get into our game predictions. Is Bubbles too much? Is that where we draw the line as men?
Oh, Ty. It's like ketchup on steak.
Yeah.
You draw the line at Bubbles, Clay? Bath's okay, but no bubbles?
Wait, hey, check back with me and Clay when you do the ice bath. When you get in the bathtub.
Bubbles are for 3-year-olds.
Yeah. When you get in the tub and you put about 3 bags of ice in there with the cold water to make your legs feel better after a hard workout that's when we know you're really doing it for the right reasons.
Okay. Ice bath, yeah.
Ice bath.
I've done, I think, one of those in my entire life.
For you, I think lavender bubbles would be perfect.
Lavender bubbles?
Can't you just see him with his lavender bubbles and his blackberry White Claw, just really letting the stress.
Red grapefruit White Claw.
Grapefruit White Claw.
Be correct about that if we're going to say it.
And then the skin mask on your face. Yeah, that's it. That's time.
The fact that you know the White Claw flavors is
it was funny.
Concerning.
So I had my physical checkup this week. For those who are wondering, yes, I'm in good condition.
No, we're not wondering.
Good health. But the lady looked at me. She's like, hey, so how much do you drink during the week? How much do you do that? I said, I only drink like once per week. And she's like, when? It's like on the weekends. And then she asked the number of how many drinks I consumed. What is the
And then when you told her White Claw, she says, oh, those don't count.
What is the Are you supposed to lie to your nurse when they actually ask you how much you drink during the week? For those listening, is that for like insurance purposes? Are you supposed to? I told the truth.
It's for screening purposes.
I told the truth, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't have. If I should have put it down a little bit, the number I told her. So I don't know.
What number does
they understand?
Now we want to know the number.
It's too late now.
We need to know the number.
Hey, she took one look at you, and whenever you told her, she said ×2 in her mind. That's what she wrote down. Yeah. She understands.
Yeah. Wesley texted. He says, "Why are you letting other dudes determine your manhood?" He says, "I take baths anytime I want to relax. Bubbles are even more relaxing." Clay, you don't know what you're talking about, according to Wesley. That's what he's saying.
Oh, I think I know.
Well, your statement about your wife, and I'm assuming every other man out there, they probably enjoyed their wife in there rather than that.
But you know who doesn't enjoy it? Our wives. Brett Good is listening now. He said Ty would cry in an ice bath.
I probably would, honestly. So I've only done it once. It was not that soothing.
No, those are tough.
All right, that's it. That does it for our bath conversation. Let's get to what you want to talk about. This game tomorrow night, Starkville, Mississippi. Kickoff set for 6:30. You can hear the IMG pregame and us on Arkansas game day. We start at 1:30 that day. Then IMG pregame. Then you'll hear from Chuck, Quinn, and Gino during the game. We'll also have a little social media hog reaction for you at halftime and following the game. Clay, I'll let you start, man. Just your thoughts. I know that it's already in Hogs Illustrated. And again, I appreciate you allowing me to be in the magazine in the score prediction. Do a little suck up real quick.
Did you get my check I sent you to get Ty back in there? Has that gotten to Norfolk?
Yep, I think that will.
I hadn't cleared the bank yet.
It was a little more than what I asked for, but I appreciate it.
I knew the cost. So.
Sometimes it takes a little bit. Clay, what kind of your thought? You said that Arkansas has a very opportunistic chance to compete in this football game.
Yeah, I think that you make a lot of improvement, and I think having the scouting report on what Leach does and seeing it up close and personal and understanding what they did to LSU will help Arkansas. I think it also is if you're ever going to go to Starkville, this is the year, no cowbells. Or I guess there'll be some cowbells, but it'll be reduced attendance. And I think
15,000 versus 61,000.
And I expect them to pipe the cowbell sound through the speakers. I mean, if I was them, that's what I'd do until somebody made me stop.
I feel bad for the speakers. So.
Yeah, they'll be rattling before the game's over, right? But I think there's some opportunity for Arkansas in the running game, which will help. Did not think Arkansas would win. Still don't think they will, but I think there's a chance to compete and get into the fourth quarter. Maybe something happens on a Saturday night in Starkville.
Yeah, I liked your comment in Hogs Illustrated. Hey, 10 days ago I thought this was a winnable game. After last weekend, my opinion has changed about Mississippi State. So.
I think that's for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think that's just
well, when we get more evidence, we change our minds.
Yep. And we don't know how bad LSU is, and they had a ton of quarantine. Ed Orgeron at some point in preseason said, our whole camp has been out at some point. The whole team has missed time. And that's the ugly truth about where college football is right now. We're making it to game week somehow, some way, and hope to play. And I'm thankful for it because I did thoroughly enjoy going to the game last week.
So I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's a little higher scoring game than most think. I think Mississippi State wins the game, but I think Arkansas is able to move their offense because you're not facing one of the best defenses in the country this week. So I look for Franks and Boyd to get on track, get these receivers involved. I think there are some mismatches between Mississippi State's secondary and Arkansas's wide receivers. The real question is, can Arkansas keep up defensively with Mississippi State? So I like State. I think the winner's in the low to mid-50s in this game.
What did you say on your score prediction?
56-44, Mississippi State.
And I said 45-31, so maybe like last week it'll be right down the middle between us. So
Tommy had the highest point total for Mississippi State of our pickers. Dudley had 51.
He had 51. I had 56. And I did that kind of in the after.
You had Arkansas scoring 44. I can't.
Yeah.
That's they're going to have to get some defensive touchdowns to get that many points.
I didn't believe. I just don't. I don't believe in State's defense. I think when you look at some 6-foot corners and then you look at Arkansas's wide receivers with the longer arms, bigger range, I think there's some opportunity there.
Franks has got to play better. We haven't mentioned him much. They've got to have better play in the offensive line and better play at quarterback.
Remember the game back in 2016 where it was 58-42 in favor of the Razorbacks? Raleigh Williams went for over 200 yards, if I remember that correctly. It was unbelievable that game. I don't know if it'll reach that level of scoring, but I do think you're going to see some offense, and I think that Kendall Briles and company will pick it up. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to beat Mississippi State, but you just want to see compete. You saw Arkansas compete against a top 5 team in the country for not just a half, but for 39 minutes. They led for 39 minutes, and then the offense just could not get anything going. Defense helped you first week, offense. Why don't you help them out this week? They're going to be dog-tired facing Mike Leach, facing that offense. You need to step up. Felipe Franks.
You sound like Eddie from Clarksville.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. In a very mild version.
You and Tupac.
Got your hog delight over there?
Need some.
You got your hog delight?
Whether it's Felipe, whether it's Rakeem, whether it's Mike Woods, Traylon Knox, Trey Burks, offensive line, you got to step up this week, guys. You need to. Arkansas fans are begging you to. And you guys can do it. No question about it. You guys have the talent. You weren't highly recruited for nothing. You didn't make plays in high school for nothing. Come together as a team. Figure it out on Saturday night. It's not out of the range. It's not out of the possibility. You beat Mississippi State before in Starkville. Why not do it again? Why not start this era beating a coach that was almost going to be your head coach? Why not start it that way? That's the best motivation I can give, I bet.
I just hope every one of us that picked the game for Clay this week are all wrong.
Because every single one of us picked Mississippi State.
everybody
Don't
picked
listen to us,
Yeah, I
guys.
hope
That's
we're
what
all
happens when you lose 20 straight SEC games.
That's fair. So, great point, Clay.
You're beat down a little bit.
For Clay Henry, Tommy Kraft, Matt Jenkins, I am Ty Richardson. Hopefully the Hogs don't sit on their hands on Saturday night.
At Toyota, today's the day to score